Hi.
Hi.
Is 40 months older than me, Neil?
It is in years.
Well, when you convert it to years, it's 3.5.
No. 40 years. Believe it or not, even with that going on, you're not 40 yet.
So, Neil's not caught up because he's a very busy boy. How's work and everything going, buddy?
Good. I can look after a good number of patients in my ward now. I feel pretty confident.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I'm pretty good actually. I'd like, get asked questions on the ward, and they're like, "So why do we do this? What do you need to do with that?" And I'm like, "I know all of these answers. Wow, where did this information come from?" Something's up here. Can't tell you what.
I had one of those moments recently where I knew something. Like I could remember either reading, watching, or listening to someone talk about something info-wise. No idea where it came from. I'm like, I know this. I don't know how I know this, but I know this.
I take some mugs downstairs.
So,
Bear in mind, guys, I'm British. Like.
Does British mean a slob? Is that how that converts? Because I'm just looking at my desk right here, and I have my active glass of water.
Yes, but you also take the same cup of coffee, microwave it for the next day, and bring it back down.
I am not a monster. I don't use the same cup that sits down here. I don't know if the cat jumps over the fence and like does something. It's a fresh cup of old coffee.
No, you definitely reuse the mug. You're like, well, I'm microwaving it so it's sterilized.
That's what I tell myself about the fresh cup of old coffee. I'm
Shameful.
like, it's too hot to touch. I'm sure the bacteria is dead.
So guys, chat. I've heard some interesting news. So I heard that we leveled. And do you want to know how long ago I heard that? About 5 minutes? Because none of these useless fuckers even messaged for me.
Neil,
hey,
it was
I
3
at least
minutes.
checked.
3 minutes.
I at least checked to make sure you knew before session.
Yeah.
I assumed Scott would tell you.
I mean, you know how it is. As soon as the session ends, I'm like, bye.
I don't know why I assumed it. Admittedly, that is definitely a failing on my part.
Yeah. In this scenario, it falls to you and Jake. I think it's equally you and Jake's fault.
I tell you what I'll do. I'll roll hit points right now, live on stream. You'll love it.
Yeah.
It'll be great. I'll roll max.
That's something, Neil. I had to fight for your right to get that level last stream.
It'll be perfect.
Yeah, actually,
average.
let's redirect this. Scott
I had
putting it
to-
on us. He tried to make you not level.
Yeah, we had to fight for your right to actually.
Something wrong with
Is this true?
Something's wrong with the internet in Australia. I think it's really. Viking too. Wow, Australians are teaming up, huh?
Scott, is this true?
Is what true?
You, and I quote, debated letting me level up.
I mean, I don't know if debating's the word.
I'm kind of
I am
offended by
judge,
that,
jury, and executioner.
Because you don't.
So
even
I
debate
make all
stuff.
decisions.
You don't even debate
hold
stuff in your
on.
government level.
Hold on.
You're like, is it red or is it blue? Go red.
Well, that's where you belong, Neil. Go to red.
You calling me a commie?
Well, depends on what you mean by red and blue. I'm just drinking all that tea. Sounds pretty imperialistic. Just saying.
But that's blue then. For
Just
us,
saying. Do you worship Fuhrer Trump?
I worship tea.
Tea party. See, go red.
Yeah, but you worship lemon party. See.
Is your camera in a different place now? Because It looks really funny when he's staring off to the side.
Yeah. So you're
us.
down here for me right now. I'll switch this about in a moment. I had you down on my side screen, so I just wanted to show off my hair. You know how long it is. No, I just had you down on there because I was otherwise occupied when I joined the call.
Fair enough.
But there you go.
I thought
now,
you were like doing
now
something
chat.
on the monitor.
Now chat at the side hose, and you're my main host.
Thank you. I think.
I mean, Scott, come on, you're nearly 40. You're not going to be my main host, are you?
I'm not even 36.
Okay. So 35, yeah, 35.
Yeah, 35, yes.
And how do you round that?
To 35.
No.
Like you
If you're
round to
rounding
fives.
Rounding it to the nearest 10.
When you're dealing with the ages, you round to 5.
If you round it to the nearest 10, how do you round it?
You round to 5.
You don't round to 5.
You don't round to 40 for 2 more
No.
years.
Because if you're dealing with ages, you don't round at all. No? What do you mean? That's insane. Why would you round to 5?
At 36, you also round to 35. At 37, you round to 40.
I'm afraid they don't do that. They do it like 20 to 24.
Actually, yeah, that's true. And it depends on the survey. You know what I mean?
So, unfortunately,
Apparently I'm Tristan today.
in the survey, you're in the danger zone.
Highway.
Apparently, I am excellent.
You took my rank.
Oh. There we go. I think I fixed it. All right. Oh, yeah, I fixed it.
Good job, my friend. Well done. Whoa. Oh my god, that was a mess. You did fix it.
I did. I forgot. Tess usually comes to cuddle with me. Tess is usually the first one on the call on this show. But Neil showed up with a 1990s.
I did.
Was
He's
that the
not
90s? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm a child of the 90s.
It may have been posted. It may have been like 05. That was up. May have been like 05. It was after high school, come to think of it. So it's like 05.
It was around that era because of the scary movies is where I remember it from mainly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the movie.
Scary movie 1, yeah, there you go.
Was it?
Well, I mean, they were literally not meant to be scary. That's kind of the joke.
Yeah. I just meant like, as opposed to, because what's the real one called? It's not called Scary Movie, it's called
Scream.
Scream, that's it. I can't remember the name of the real one, even though my wife watches it every October. She watches the whole series every October. And I'm just like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to be able to watch 5 movies in 1 month? That sounds like some free time.
Yeah, but you chose this for yourself, Scott. So shut up.
Ah! Sorry, I just had to scream. Oh.
That was an appropriate response at that time. So it's really warm here. We had a bunch of storms yesterday, but it's still really warm.
Yeah, they're hitting us today. We're getting the T-storm today, and then I think we get another one Saturday. They finally clears up because it's rained almost every day in July for us, and it's like intense rain. But luckily, I think it's finally lightening up for when I go on my vacation next week. So
yeah,
I think finally.
Hopefully you'll have a good holiday. You know what you're gonna do? Sleep.
I will. Yeah, when I'm in Maine, I usually get good sleep because the air is just so clean and tasty.
Why did your hit dice have a 1 at the end?
Because that's how Pathfinder rolls hit dice. It always rolls a 1 so that they appear blue rather than red or green.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's actually that 1d1 in there, and the 1d1 keep higher 1 that whole bit. It's how it is that they have to what's it called? The equation has to work to get the math to work. That's actually something that Sel and I discovered a long time ago. We had to create a couple of macros that included 1d0, otherwise it just wouldn't roll. It was this weird thing, but
that's really weird.
Yeah, it's like it wanted you to do 1d0, otherwise it wouldn't roll.
That is a programmer going, fuck it, it's good enough.
Yeah, that's exactly what it, and it's just because of how it is that it has to feed through. So like the 3D dice that gets triggered, there's like a very specific way that an API has to feed through to trigger that thing to actually roll dice. So the fact that they got it to work where it's rolling 2 dice, but only 1 displays on the screen, take it and run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by the way,
4.
hi Jake, how are you?
I'm good, Scott. How are you?
I'm doing terrific. I'm just sitting back in my chair, comfortably waiting for you to give us the recap for last week, or a brief recap of the last few sessions for Neil, who's coming in and is like, "You what, mate?
You what, mate? Oi, 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 oi! What's going on here? Then you wank yourself, shiv you."
Well, so you got out of the Barrenlands now, which was not fun.
I mean, that was never in any
so
doubt.
unfun.
Right?
I never want to go back there ever.
Wow.
This character.
You would say that was a bit of an unfunny one.
I would. Yeah. So we left you at the boat to guard the boat because that was of vital importance that we bring the boat back.
Yeah. So you leave the strongest
seem to have
person
done your
there.
job. Yeah. And we took.
It's more like you're the misbehaving child on the trip, so you got left in the car.
You got attacked, didn't he, on the way up?
Scott, Jake is talking, please.
My apologies. Javis, please.
Yeah. Yes, Tesh. We did get attacked on the way up. The boat got attacked numerous times.
I think I remember
we
you
made the
said he actually
decision
got
to.
injured on the way up as well, which was part of the reason.
Yeah. Yeah. So then we took this sailor, Tethys, with us, who knew some local tribe, which he kept calling the guy not what his name was, and yeah. So then we made our way into the Barrenlands where we got lost, like really badly lost.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
It
Luckily,
gets worse.
we were then attacked by that trump card that Joey dropped, which dropped Gallon again before he could do much damage.
Classic Gallon.
And nearly completely wiped
I need
us.
you to understand, Neil. This was 2 hits, and I was 2 health away from instant death.
Oh, yeah, he went into his con, like he was.
Oh,
he was
okay.
fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, these were
Scott
20
can't
strength
balance an
orcs
encounter.
with plus 5 bows.
It was a TC encounter. Go ahead.
So that means it's not balanced?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So as you weren't there this
Understood.
time, it came to me to save the day, which I pulled through and saved the day.
What a hero.
Yeah, of course.
Finally.
No, I don't think you understand. I'm gonna hold on to this point for a second. A fortune's favor was dropped for him, and I was like, I'm gonna hold off on this fortune's favor, and we let the dice play out dramatically as he furiously fought to save the lives, and somehow he pulled through. Like it was like the craziest thing. Like it actually pulled through without having to use the FF. It was
There
all
were
dice
3
rolls.
dice rolls where any one of those dice rolls was 1 higher, TPK.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Proud of you. You had your
yeah,
flump moment.
Thank you. That means a lot coming from the original flump.
You know what's really upsetting?
Um,
One of the emotes I commissioned over 3 months ago is a flump emote. Spoiler.
No,
I
That's
commissioned
really
a
sad.
flump emote, and if we had it 3 months ago, and I was supposed to get it, it would have been awesome and topical and fun.
It would.
But 3 months later, it's like, what's this random ass emote that Scott got? By the way, I still haven't gotten it yet.
Chat have kind of forgotten that they are all flumps at
Yeah.
this point. It's going to be difficult reminding them, but like
so-
as we've seen, flumps are stubborn creatures.
So I'm so upset. I'm like, just let it go. Somebody lost jokes. I'm like, this sucks. Keep going. I'm sorry, Jake.
Right. So then I think the fortune's favor kicked in after the battle, and that tribe that Tethys knew guided us to the Mole Ruins, where we found none other than good old friendly Beltran.
I was
Yeah.
called, actually. It was called.
We
wasn't
don't
it?
know he's Beltran, but I mean, we're pretty sure he's Beltran.
Mhm.
That's we know it's Beltran, right?
Our
Wait,
characters don't know.
I don't think Neil knows who
Of
Beltran.
course, our characters don't.
I don't think Neil knows who Beltran is.
Yeah, of course I know who Beltran Dorothy is with his ruby slippers, you know. No place like home. There's no place like home.
Thank you, Neil. That was much appreciated.
That's the best way you could have not only proven that you did know, but you had the
Beltran
best
Dorothy Graris. I love the idea that it's just Dorothy from now on.
Of course.
Well, now he's Dora the Explorer. So, go ahead, Jake. I'm sorry.
So yeah, we spied on the ruins there, and then we were seen. And
Yeah, you guys are kind of
had to
like
make a
messy
great
outside of Rita's
escape.
window. Yeah, it was pretty intense. Spyglass and everything.
Right. Well, yeah. So then we ran away, and were chased, and we had to run for days, and we nearly didn't make it. Then we did make it.
So I'm getting a lot of like, we nearly didn't make it throughout this entire scenario.
No, yeah, there were multiple times where TPK was on the menu. Multiple times.
Nice.
And then we got back on the boat, which you seem to have kept in one piece.
Of course.
And we made our way back
Expect anything less.
to that place that we came from.
We got Tethys a promotion. Jake got
Yep.
Tethys a promotion.
Nice.
Tethys got promoted, which was good. And then we made our way back. I did ask Scott to dinner, however, he politely said lunch would be more preferable. Which, you know, each their own, of course. Then we went back to Sea Pearl, and she had a lot of interesting stuff to say. You should probably watch it because it, you know, I can't.
Well,
say
Tesh,
everything.
if you wanna recap quickly, kind of this little spot because this is actually where we are. So
For one thing, she organized this meeting in her home, which is like brand newly furnished and very expensive, and obviously the first meeting she's ever had in here. So that should give you the scale of the meeting. And first of all, we found out that basically, like we expected, both of our jobs we were given were tests to see if our group could handle unorthodox or unusual tasks, essentially. And we passed. And
We had very good reports, which was
we had very, very good reports. Pardon me. And we got told that we are essentially going. Well, we got asked if we wanted to, and both of our characters obviously said yes, but we're still in that moment. It was basically if we wanted to essentially be. What was the term you see? It wasn't secret police, it was something else.
yeah, but more
Begins with a G?
no. Gustavo.
We're essentially working for
the River King directly.
The River King directly.
So at this
my.
point, you'll be
Oh.
at this point you'll be taking
be
your
that
orders.
poor Secret Service agent that had to pose
Secret
as Melania
Service,
Trump, right? On all of his foreign outings.
Oh my god.
Oh. I need you to put on 35 pounds by Friday. What?
What?
But I thought he was the most fit president ever in the history of presidency, despite weighing 3 times Barack Obama. Like,
Well, yeah, he's built. It's muscle.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you think all that orange comes from? It's well known. Like, you ever seen a salmon? You ever seen a salmon? That's pure muscle. It's orange. Come on, dude.
He's a hybrid.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's not scaly. I'm just saying that
It's cold-blooded.
yeah. All right, so anyways, that was just saying. So Sea Pearl, nope. You would be taking orders, air quotes, directly from the River King. And the reason why I say it that way is because it's very unusual for you to actually go and sit before him to give you tasks. It'll be like, she's like, even though it'll be coming through me, it's coming directly from the River King. Oh, hello, Blue. How you doing?
Ooh, Blue.
What's up, Blue? So it'll be coming directly from the River King, and then your reports that you guys actually fill out, which would be Jake mostly, that you guys actually fill out and send back in, go directly to the River King before they even get to see Pearl or anybody else. So him and his Master of War oversee pretty much everything that you guys are taking care of. So there's going to be some super high important tasks that you're going on. What's up, Blue? What were you playing today? What were you up to? What game was it?
Sorry.
No. I can't remember if on this channel I have the SO command.
FF7. Yeah, nice. I'm waiting for the second half of it to come out to play that, but I'm looking forward to it because I've heard good things.
Nope, no SO. I must be the other channel that have that. So yeah, it's like the new Baldur's Gate game. Like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to play a game that's not even done yet. Like, it's not. If it was an indie companies, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm all about that early access, give them the money to finish the project, so on and so forth. But like these big ass AAA companies, I'm like, or finish the game. I mean,
I'm looking forward to Baldur's Gate, but yeah, I'm gonna wait till it's finished.
Yeah, exactly. I'm big ass AAA companies. I'm like, you could finish the game without crowdsourcing. You can do it. I believe in you.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
What was it?
Blue was playing the original FF7, not the remake.
Oh,
that's fair enough. I'm just since I never played the original.
Those graphics must be. Those graphics must be great. Those graphics.
I'm waiting for the second half of the remake because I want to do that all as one experience.
Yeah,
Yes, Steve, we were going to get to that, but we're waiting to actually say it properly, not just randomly as a drop-in.
Yep. We're at the point where you can finally catch him up, though. Either way, what was I saying? The FF7 was a game that I played probably 4 times in my teens, right? Because that game came out originally in, I want to say, like, what, 02 or 03, 02? I think that game came out. Does that sound right? Because I graduated high school in 04.
I didn't play that one. I played 8.
FF7.
I played 8, 10.
No, 97. 97. I was way off. I was off by 5 years. So 97, I would have been, oh God, how old was I? 11, 12 years old, somewhere in that range, 11 or 12. This is January, so I would have been 11 years old. So, like I said, I beat it through, like, FF8 was always my favorite as a kid, as a puppers. So, yeah. So, I was born in 85, so.
Whenever
Zelda.
8 came out, that's when I played that. However old I was then, because it did just come out. I remember.
On OG Nintendo, I played, I think it was the original Final Fantasy. Like on the big gray box Nintendo. I played I think it was the original Final Fantasy. I played a couple of them.
In 97, Scott, I was 2.
Yeah, I'm aware, Neil. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that chime in.
Neil, can you
Thanks.
not?
Thanks. Well, I'm 35, Neil. Chomping the bit at 36. I got 2 months, 2 days until I'm 36.
Hells yeah, buddy.
Oh, God. Yeah. Apparently, I was 8 when I started playing Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah,
So
FF8 is awesome.
Would it be?
Yeah,
Wouldn't it be
FF8
like,
was. I never finished it.
The problem
I
with
came to that realization.
Neil's on point. We should get back to the story, but I would say that the issue with FF8, Tesh, if you ever try to replay it, if you want to get a modded version that allows you to skip the GF performances, because like let's say you really like Shiva, like, oh, I want to use Shiva, and you use her in every combat. Every time you use Shiva, you have to watch her whole animation, which is like 15 seconds long. So if you use her 7 times in one combat, you just lost almost 2 minutes of your life on just one GF animation. and if every one of your characters are using GFs, you're just like So I swear the reason why the game did that.
I do remember specifically watching Ifrit and his meteor many times.
It's obnoxious. Was I saying? I think the reason why they did it was to add game hours. So look at this. It's a game that's 110 hours long. It's like,
Is it though?
But anyways, go ahead, sir.
Back to game. Oh yeah, we got out with our first assignment as well, right at the end, and then it was like the cut-off cliffhanger. And we're going to Yavincia.
And also the gate is now part of the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Magadan is now part of the Dween.
Officially, the gate is So
I mean, that just makes sense, though, right?
Yep.
So one of the big things to note, Neil, is when you're talking about going to Yavincia for the River King, it's like, wait, hold on, are there rivers in Yavincia? Well, actually, yeah, there's two, I believe, two rivers in Yavincia. Cool.
Yep.
You guys can pull up the map of Paradel if you'd like. And then, yeah, okay, there's two rivers there. None of them touch Dween, which means that the River King is really starting to put forward that strong foot, saying like, it's not just the rivers that flow through Dween into the other provinces of Paradel. It's all rivers of Paradel is what he's trying to claim as the, quote, River King. So we'll see how kind of like that plays out.
One of those goes from Meshtez into Adir, so that'll be an interesting one.
Yes, it does. It's actually, you don't know, do you?
Probably not. Although I know that below that river is now considered Paradel.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that.
That happened right before we went to the plains.
Yeah, we spoke about that.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
So it's fun that you mentioned Meshtez specifically, because I don't know how much you guys remember what Meshtez is, but if the River King claims Meshtez, that's right, that's Ilan's backstory. If the River King claims Meshtez as like a city that belongs to him, oh boy, that's things are gonna start getting a bit rocky. So
yeah, that's a large part of Yavincia's income.
It is literally, it's the because it's funny because we all know that Climë is a thing that exists inside of Paradel, but like slave trade doesn't really exist inside of Paradel. It's in Climë. It's the choice, right? Where you choose this or this, right? And so you choose to take this. Yeah, it's more indentured servitude than anything else, because on the flip side of it, you get full, you become a citizen, blah, 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 right? But in Meshtez, paperwork gets washed. And people trade hands. It's where Climë are traded from one province to the next, despite where it was that you applied to. It's where all the rules get a little bit washed. So Meshtez is effectively a slave trader city, even if it doesn't say it on paper, it more or less is. Though that's not something that's openly talked about or even that everybody understands. But you can imagine some officials know that. And again, the whole idea of why that was strange was because it used to be the Yovan here, the Prince of Yavincia, was anti-slavery. Cough, 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 cough. Speaking of, you were just given that task by Seapearl to go heading out to Yavincia and to go look into matters over that direction. I believe where we left off.
I haven't actually been told anything about it. I think, yeah.
So I believe where we left off was you guys literally still sitting with her in her office inside of her beautiful home. Neil, just to give you the super fast recap, we're talking about an ultra fancy district of the city that you're in is where her home happens to be. It's a district that, generally speaking, only has homes that belong to higher ups in the military, or people that are related to or very closely tied with the military will have homes here. But these are like very expensive homes. You can imagine that this house probably cost her in gold pieces, several 100,000 gold pieces to get this bit of property. And when you walked in, it was very, very lightly furnished because she's still settling in. But her office is set up. It is on fleek, as the children once would have said. But us boomers ruined it for them. You're welcome.
treacherous.
Either way. So you're going to be sitting in the office, and she had just dropped the bomb that you're going to be working directly for. I imagine your character agrees to it, and bam. She kind of like sits there in her chair on the other side of the desk, waiting for your characters to react over the idea that you're going to be going to Uvincia. I'll let Jake throw the first reaction to get us into character.
I think where we left off, because we don't actually know anything, she just goes, let's talk about Uvincia.
Okay, there you go. Let's talk about Uvincia.
Let's talk about Uvincia. Let's talk about.
Yeah, I guess if you're throwing it to me, he would just go, Uvincia.
I just realized what beat he was trying to do.
I know exactly what it is. That's why
Let's talk about all the good things and bad things that may be. Let's
All
not
the good things
talk
and
about.
the bad things of Rena.
Yeah, I was like, let's not talk about Rena.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Wasn't the Prince of Uvincia recently assassinated?
I find it strange that you actually know this. It's not public knowledge yet, at least not this far east.
I
was
think
in
we
our-
actually
We
did a
were
whole
told about it because
conversation
we
about
went
this.
up there to check for Rena.
No. She had the conversation with us about this as well.
Yep. She says that to you.
All right, all right. Let's just let her go on.
Wait, hold up. Wait, she's saying we haven't.
You can address it.
Yeah,
I want to sense motive that.
Triss would say, "You told us."
Did I? Oh yes, The move has been a bit exhausting as of late. Actually, not only did I tell you, but in fact, I believe you spoke with somebody about the endeavors that it happens about the you spoke with somebody about the investigation to the matter, didn't you? She says, looking actually specifically at Galen.
Indeed. They were going to investigate the warden to make sure he had been there the entire time.
As previously stated, he did survive that encounter. When you head over to Uvincia, because that is where you're going, it is going to be your responsibility to confirm some of the details as to what happens out in that direction. Now, one of the reasons why the three of you specifically are being put on this task is, well, it's twofold. One, of course, is a matter of national security. We need to know that the those that assassinated the Yavin here and are still at large are not going to be coming to attempt the same with the River King. And if they do, we need to know more about who these people are. It's that second part there, why it is that I'm sending you three specifically. Galen, you actually have allies that similarly works directly for the Oven here, who have been investigating this matter for the sake of, shall we say, justice against the transgressions against the Oven here. Now, there are some discoveries that may be made along the way, certain details that you may pick up along the way. As rumors go, once it starts, it's kind of like a wildfire in the outback. You just can't control it. Just like people can't control their urges to have gender reveal parties, to start wildfires. It's just it's a part of nature. You can't get away from it. So when you're going over that direction, the rumors that you hear, I want you to take those rumors and bury them deep down. Don't forget them by any stretch, because we can discuss them when you return. But bury them deep down. You have a very specific task. We already have people that are, or at least people are already being hunted that are, that potentially were the ones that to have assassinated the oven here, because it was in fact an assassination. I'm not asking you to hunt them down. That's their responsibility. They failed their prince. Your responsibility is to find out how it is that they did it, what ties they have involved. Did they have a greater network that they used to accomplish this task, or did they do this entirely independently? We need to start fishing out the structure that they were able to utilize to accomplish this. Because if it was just a random hobo that walked up to him on the streets and stabbed him in a dark alleyway, then that's the end of it. But we can all understand that would seem rather suspicious, wouldn't it? How did this person have that weapon on hand, know where to be at the time, etc., etc., etc.? Is it truly chance, or was it designed to be that way? You're going to be looking into these matters. And at the same time that you're going to be doing this, there is likely going to be a coronation for a new prince. So I'm also going to ask that you stick around for the coronation of the new prince. It'll give an opportunity for you to see a potentially once-in-a-lifetime experience, even if it isn't your prince, as well as keep a close eye on how it is that the people around react. See if there are others that are already planning something new or different. Hell, who knows? Maybe their boldness, due to their success, will lead them to act brashly at the coronation itself. It would be quite the statement if there was a regicide at the coronation of someone who was just killed by a regicide. Of the coronation replacing someone who was just killed by the regicide.
Please keep regicide away from our campaign.
She looks at you and says, "You serve a prince. It's your responsibility to keep regicide away from your campaign."
You already let them rampage through our country. Like, come on. Like, why Kithel didn't just walk in there with his big club and just smash their skulls in one by one while they were asleep, I'll never know. Like, Kithel's a good boy. He does the good. That would be the good.
He's good, though. He wouldn't do it while they were sleeping.
Of course he would.
In the name of all that is good and holy, I suffocate you with a pillow while you sleep.
Yeah, they suffer the least. They just wake up just to the iron grip of the pillow around their face. At least he could at least do it to Messi.
Yeah.
There's no way his character would be able to fight back from that.
He can teleport, though.
But can he teleport without speaking?
Yes.
He doesn't need a verbal component.
He's a loper.
Okay, so what you do is you break all his fingers first. Like another campaign we know.
He doesn't need somatic components either.
It's like me.
So he comes in and he clubs both his kneecaps. And then when he teleports, he lands on his feet and just falls on the floor, and then he just finishes the job.
Oh. Kithel just sits on his face.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Chad loved that.
There's some people in chat that like it.
Yeah.
That's one rock hard ass.
Oh my God. Taste the brimstone. This is what the deals with the devil taste like.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, I'm just saying they definitely should have just like.
Be pretty cool if Kithel like shit out Onyx though. That'd make me pretty happy.
Yeah, definitely.
I did like. I
Like, where'd you get that fine jewelry? I don't know. I always find it in Kithel's room.
He does make jewelry.
He does.
Now
yeah.
you realize he's just making it from his poo.
I was watching Regicide, and I did like Jake's note. Kingmaker ascends two gods. Regicide, hold my beer.
Well, like, there'd be a certain sort of poetic justice if, like, up at sun's rest, you know, like, Gizel's like, come and look at the sunset. And then he just yeets the three of them off the balcony.
So sun's rest isn't really... Kithel won't be visiting there anytime. You know, don't worry about it.
Yeah, of course. Why would you visit there? That's where the devils are. And to be clear, by devils, I mean regicide.
Neil, I'm sorry to tell you this, but they broke the teleporter.
They seceded. Yeah.
Okay.
No, they broke the teleporter.
Yeah. To secede.
Yeah.
A bit of a chode move.
They're not the ones that broke the teleporter? It was regicide?
Yeah,
okay. Cool. I was making sure you know.
Yeah,
like, that's not throwing shade at any of the good characters.
Anything bad for the world, regicide.
I mean,
we left the deer in some good people hands. Like, maybe not Ravina, but the rest of the...
Actually, Ravina's pretty solid.
Ravina is...
Ravina just killed a bunch of Paradel spies.
She does what needs to be done, but like, I would not call her a good person. I respect her, and she's a good person for the job, but she's not a good person.
I like her better than many of the politicians I have IRL, so I'll take it.
She does like kids, but not in the bad way. Unlike some of your politicians. Excuse me while I get swatted by the US government.
It was pretty funny what happened to Matt Gaetz when he went to California, but we don't need to
to be honest, no, Leon was being a bit of a bitch. You know that guy that you resurrect and then you really regret resurrecting him? That's Leon.
Well, I don't know if you remember this, but it was actually Brittany that resurrected him.
Yes, Iron Monkey.
Yes.
Which is a hilarious name for Brit, actually.
Yeah. I even asked her, I was like, where'd it come from? She goes, I don't know. I was like...
One day you're going to be driving home and you'll just hear, like, from like a warehouse, you'll just hear, and tonight's fight! Iron Monkey versus... And you'll go in and you'll find out that she's actually just been pit fighting for years.
That'd be pretty badass. I could see it. You'd be a pit fighter.
Yeah, I mean, like, how else does she have the constitution to put up with you?
She exercises all the time. Do you know where she is right now? She's out exercising at 6:46 in the morning. She's like, well, I got to get this done before I have to be a mom. He's in the basement. He's alive. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get back to the game. More or less kind of divulged all that to you guys. At that point, that would be a normal break for her. Anyway, so how you guys react to kind of what she was saying?
I mean, I believe I already said something along the lines of, like, it'd be an honor to take that job. I can't remember exactly what the wording was, but Gallon's in.
Doesn't seem like it's particularly suited to our skills, or at least mine, but if it's to protect the River King, I'll do my duty.
Why do you believe it not to be suited to your skills?
I'm much better at running someone down on an open field than asking them for information.
Let me ask you this question, Tristan. How comfortable is the average soldier, in Climë or otherwise, in speaking with an officer versus another soldier? And certainly when somebody walks up to you in a body of crystal, how comfortable do they seem to be as well in that scenario as well?
Understood. You are, of course, an exception to the rule. He salutes.
She'll actually laugh at that one, like a little chuckle at that. The little break of and again, this is an informal, formal meeting. Like this is drink in front of each of
We're
you.
at
so
our
on and so
house.
forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. In her office. So, but yes, she'll actually laugh at that. That's pretty good.
And Gallon would actually say, besides, generally when questions get asked, eventually people need running down.
Oh my lord. Tris will giggle, like, and then stifle it.
Mm-hmm. Now, the question would be how it is that you're going to be traveling from here to there, considering that the city you're going to be spending your time in is Renetslav. Renetslav is a considerable distance away from where you are right now.
Literally the furthest possible city.
Yeah, because you guys are in McGlynn.
Oh my
Yeah,
lord.
I think that is literally the
We're basically going to
furthest
the
possible city.
front.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. I'm just doing some quickie.
Wait, I'm sorry. Who decided to hold the coronation in Renetslav, not Meshtas?
No, but Meshtes is not a good place for a coronation. Let me tell you.
Yeah, but there's like a bunch of places like Durin. Like you're basically
Durin
on
would
the
be
border
better.
there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unfortunately, a lot of them are.
But
on the border.
Renetslav.
You could actually. So your character probably wouldn't know where Renetslav is. I think
No.
only.
I just had to look it up on the map.
No. You're fine. I'm saying so. Galen would know because he spent time in Uvincia, and Viggo would know because he's extremely well educated in paranormal matters. So you can. I don't know if any of you would even bring up that question, or if you'd even be like, "Where's that?" You know what I mean?
Well, I imagine it's Renetslav. This is me piecing together what I would imagine, and I think also Galen would imagine. It's Renetslav because that's where the prince would have been before, so that he can affect matters on the front directly, and so it's likely that they don't want to show any sign of weakness of moving it because of a assassination. It's like, oh no, we can just do it right here again.
So to fly in the face of the opposition.
Yeah.
It's a show of tenacity.
Yeah, almost like a fuck you to the actual assassination itself sort of thing.
Exactly.
So
Now,
this,
I don't know if Galen would say that, but that's what I'm thinking.
this mission that we're being sent on is discreet, right? Are we supposed to be known to be Climë for the River King?
You will be given authority. You'll be given a means of identifying yourself for your significance, so that people will, when you reveal it, will understand that you have authority to be asking questions or entering into locations otherwise meant to be kept alone. It would be meant to be kept out of. But beyond that, it would expect you to want to play things a little bit more discreet. You're welcome to reveal yourself as needed. I'm not asking you to set yourself up for failure. But I would suggest, pretty much at this point moving forward, you want to have a multifaceted approach. Things are a little, shall we say, tentative out west. How do I say this? The reason why you're going to a place like Renetslav and showing interest there is because obviously we're concerned about who and how this assassination took place. But also because it is believed that Renetslav is meant to be a part of Dween. Not everybody knows such a belief is something that's kind of a working movement. And certainly there are many that would disagree with it, especially people that lived out that way. So discretion doesn't just aid you in your ability to, shall we say, keep things undercover for a little while. It also may aid you in countering some opposition by otherwise allies.
Indeed.
I see. So we'll have a cover for why we're there then. Everyone is supposed to report, like every Inclimated soldier like reports to someone, right? But we won't be reporting to anyone.
You will not be reporting to anybody directly while you're over there. You are who they are going to report to. And you are already reporting to me, given a task afar. Now, if you choose to visit old friends or what have you while you're there, you're welcome to do so, but understands, every report you write is meant to go across the desk of the River King before anybody else now. So be mindful of what it is that you say to others that you encounter, because that intelligence is meant for the River King above all others. Except for a Tarumbar, of course. Let's not be treasonous here.
Understood.
Okay. Now, do we have questions about your task out west, or shall we start getting into the details of your transportation?
Can we kill people? If we find the treasonous bastards, can we kill them?
Of course. I mean, apprehension would be better. It would allow us to interrogate them and bring them to proper justice, whether it be execution or imprisoned or otherwise. Certainly gaining more intelligence would be a good thing, but if apprehension is not really an option, or things happen to go south on you, it's understood that you will do what you need to do.
Understood.
But you do want to, I do want to be clear, if they do end up being killed, you're going to want to make sure that you have the appropriate evidence to prove that this was in fact the people that we are looking for that were killed, and not a couple of dead bodies that close an otherwise very hot case.
The only other question I would have is what is currently known about the assassination attempt, just as a place to start.
Well, you already... go ahead.
I've got a fan on.
Yeah.
If you can hear it at all, just let me. I was just wondering whether you were hearing it. If you hear any noise, any background noise, just say. Obviously the mic, I've not got it pointed at the mic, but just say, guys. I don't want to do it.
I mean, I don't... I have music in my ears, though, so...
I don't hear it, so...
I'm listening
chat,
to the best
chat,
of
if you
Destiny.
hear it, just say, and I'll wake up.
Actually, I just realized this isn't called the Best of Destiny. It's the of Best Destiny music. It's a typo.
As in music from Destiny.
Yes, but it says the of Best Destiny music. It's pretty funny. Right?
Destiny actually had some pretty nice music.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic music.
Here, Tesh, I'll send this to you in case you wanna.
Yes, please.
See, I'm not sure I believe you, Steve.
So, all right. So, anyways, back to you. What we were just asking.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, it was something about, you were asking about killing them and then information.
What else was known about the assassination?
That's right. Yep.
Assassination, how it was done, that sort of thing.
Well, I do want to point out there is a very specific group of people that are hunting down the assassins right now. A very specific group of people with very specific talents, as far as I understand, as I now have had full clearance to come to an understanding as to what it is that's being researched. So something pertaining to that. However, if all of them have these abilities, or if it was just one, I'm not sure. But something pertaining to these talents that a few Inclimated soldiers of Jovincia have been able to develop.
Okay, thank you.
I do have a question.
Yep.
Do we know who
Gallon
the new-
rolled a sense motive ages ago for something that
Yeah.
wasn't needed to be rolled
It
for.
was...
Yeah.
It was when she didn't realize that she'd already talked to us about the assassination.
Go ahead.
Do we know who the new prince to be appointed is?
Unfortunately, I actually don't even have access to that information, and likely will not until shortly after you arrive there, or around when you arrive there, because it'll take some time for word to travel back this way.
Any front runners or things that you could put forward?
I have no. Uvinci is so far removed from Dween, I wouldn't even begin to know. If I had to guess, with everything going on and the active war coming to as strong of a head as it is at the moment, it'd likely be somebody who has a long-standing military service. Somebody who has, I mean, hell, in the days of yore, one might even expect somebody like a Leon Jaeger in a situation like this to handle it. But unfortunately, he seems to be treasonous himself. So
I've heard those rumors. I don't believe that. You've heard the stories. He's a war hero. No offense, Lieutenant Commander.
yeah, she nods and says, yeah, no, and that's why I would have expected him to be a front runner in these kind of in this scenario. He wouldn't be afraid of assassins. I don't think anybody would even want to attempt to assassinate him, anyways. But that being said, he did turn his back on Paradel. Now, I don't think he's ever raised a military arm against me. Viewers dropped when I said he might be treasonous. So anyways, it's coincidental, but it was just pretty funny. So anyways, what's he saying? I don't think he's ever raised a military arm against Paradel. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't have now loyalties elsewhere. It's a little concerning. Unless he's playing the long game. Upright, stiff back, shining shield, commander of the military turned into master espionage.
You know where he is?
Things have happened.
She nods. Yes. He serves for some town in Idir. It's a small city-state.
Oh dear. God-forsaken land, that. Things I've seen there have, well, they changed my opinion. That's for sure.
What do you mean?
Yeah, Gal would actually be interested in this as well. Because well, no, wait, that's a good point. I would have seen a bit of a deer, but probably not. I would have seen a very tunneled vision of a deer till the temple, and then a very tunneled vision back. So yeah, I'd be interested in this as well.
You ever seen an owlbear?
Oh, Tesh, you never went to that temple.
Oh, didn't I? Okay.
No, your training happened elsewhere.
Oh, and
Remember, if you think of old canon, Jen Malus took him from the temple.
okay.
And he was there for countless years. He has not returned.
Yes, you said there was time fuckery with my training as well, so that's happened elsewhere. My bad. I didn't realize.
Go ahead, Neil.
You ever seen an owlbear?
I assume I would have at some stage during. Are they in a Malta?
Well, you know
They're
what an
in the
owlbear
mountainous
is, right?
forest regions.
They're big. They're big, all muscle. All the sharpest parts of an owl with the sharpest parts of a bear. The things that happen in a deer make them run away. Owlbears don't run away for no reason.
Interesting.
The dead aren't supposed to walk. Strange place. Very strange place. Not been to the Heartlands, of course. Just the...
Say the dead aren't supposed to walk. You'll notice Galen freezes a little bit in terms of his curiosity.
Peculiar.
Indeed.
Back to the mission at hand, though. will we be given any resources to work with while we're over there?
Well, you'll be able to collect whatever you need to from your what's it called?
Quartermaster.
Yeah, from the quartermaster prior to leaving. So you're welcome to grab whatever resources you need from there. But you mean access to your own, so I would say, infrastructure. Being soldiers, you'll easily be able to get yourself hands on beds in a barracks if need be. You have enough paperwork, of course, to cover that, but that's only if you want to reveal that you're soldiers so early on. You, of course, can utilize the military there as needed within reason, utilizing, again, the additional identification that you're going to be given to give you a degree of aid, but only if you choose to reveal as such. So, in short, yes, you will have resources at your disposal, but only if you want to utilize them, if you want others to know that you're able to utilize them.
It might be beneficial for us to front, well, myself as a scholar from one of the universities in Sephora, with these two with these two accompanying me for security to document the ascension of a new prince. I can play that part extremely well.
She nods, and then she says, and it's a little tentative, and she's not a very tentative person, obviously. It's a little tentative, but only because she doesn't want to speak too much of your own personal life in front of these other two, because she doesn't know what they do or do not know what your comfort levels are. But for the matter, she says, being Metahina, I'm not sure how much access you have to the universities. Unless you're not saying doing it for the university itself, you just mean utilizing your education and trying to make a name for yourself.
Of course.
She nods understanding because, again, she wanted to clarify that. Well, if that's the case, if you need to get your hands on quality-bound books or additional inks or whatnot, you know, you can easily get your hands on those.
Galen wouldn't bring this up, but there was mention of pay last time.
That's why I asked about resources.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
actually, there
I
is
have the
something...
beginnings of an idea. I'm sure it will flesh itself out long before we arrive.
This is I have a meta question for Scott first about game mechanics that may lead into an actual question from Galen.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible to train in stealth, as in like get the tick in stealth from
and make it a class skill? You mean?
Yeah, make it a class skill.
I think it's feats or traits that do that.
So there are traits that turn skills into class skills. There are feats that turn skills into class skills, or multi-classing into a class that makes it a class skill.
Okay. Is there any other way to in-game train stealth, or is it just leveling?
It would just be gaining ranks, yeah, by leveling.
Oh, but you could. Oh, by leveling. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't make it a class skill though. The difference between a class skill and a not class skill is that if it's a class skill, and you
just improving stealth in general. So if like. Basically, I'm asking: is there any way in game to improve stealth without it just being leveling? Like
the retrain mechanic allows you to remove ranks from somewhere else and put it inside there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you're still limited to the max. Yes, sir.
Magical equipment.
Sure. Yep.
Rare, of course, but that's the way, isn't it? Outside of leveling.
Yeah.
Equipment would either A, give you feat or trait, or B, give you just like some type of modifier. So when we used to play my old Eberron campaign, I've talked about this a million times, and my buddy Pat played Kimdafo Travaris Civis, that little gnome fucker, would make you, like, let's say Jake wanted to be like, my character is the most stealth guy. He'd be like, well, it's pretty cheap for me to make an item that gives you plus 10 stealth versus like giving you like a plus 30. Like the numbers aren't that bad. So I'll give you a plus 10 circumstance bonus to stealth, a plus 10 luck bonus to stealth, a plus 10 profane bonus to stealth, a plus 10 enhancement bonus to stealth. So he would just make you like and then he would pay the extra cost to put that all on one item together. So you'd wear like a pair of boots that offered 4 different plus 10 bonuses to stealth, but of different types.
You have a cloaking button at that.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Cloak.
and within the rules of the game, it's fine. And we didn't play Pathfinder back then. We played D&D, so it cost experience points to pull it off. So, but nobody would argue that Kim Daffa was the most powerful character in the game. So, but that's one of the reasons why the XP cost works, is because he would break the game with how powerful it was.
That's okay. It means I'll just have a look and see if I can find the sort of thing I might look to buy later to help with stealth.
Or equally, you could also take a feat that would give you more traits, probably.
Maybe, but I have feats I need to get to certain points. Yeah.
The difference between so V-Sword's talking about being a class skill versus not a class skill. 3.5 is different than no. Just to clarify something in chat.
Oh, okay.
So in Pathfinder, being a class skill means if you have at least one rank into it, you get an automatic +3 class skill bonus to the skill. Nothing exciting, just you get a +3 for having at least one rank.
It is very exciting. You put one rank in, you get
it counts as 4. Yes, but that's not how it worked in Pathfinder. In Pathfinder, if it was a class skill, for every skill point you put into a class skill, you gained 1 rank. But if it was a non-class skill, for every skill point you put in, you gained half of a rank. So it costs 2 skill points to gain a single rank in a skill. So
like KOTOR.
Like KOTOR, yes. Yeah. Yes. So I mean it's cool. It's fine. Also, skill points work differently. You would actually be allowed to max out. You could have maximum of 4. So 3 plus your level. So if you're level 7, you could have 10 ranks in a skill. So you got to hit things a little bit sooner. Anyways. So that's why she's suggesting it, is because I would do stuff like that if it was going to break your concept. Because like in this version of the game, you're just asking for a free +3. And that's on you, bro. But in her thing, it's like, I'm going to suck forever unless I could have this. It's like, yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, all I was wondering if I could commit to training and spend money, because I don't know how the system works. Because I know that you can learn other languages and stuff like that with
linguistics. It takes quite an inordinate amount of time.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
It takes significant downtime that we don't necessarily get as soldiers.
Yes, that's why I was going to ask the meta question and then an in-game question, because I thought of the idea of him essentially using his downtime to train. But now that's okay. I'll look for an item and work on it from that angle. Because I forget that there's a lot more items, or magic items are a lot more common in Pathfinder.
Well, they're a bigger thing, right? Because Pathfinder is harder in heavy, the expectation is at a certain level you will have a certain amount of magical items, and the magical items are way broader in what they can encompass. So your character gets more power, significantly more power from its magic items than you would in, say, 5e, which is like +1, +2, +3 weapon, and +1, +2, +3 armor. Very different.
Also, the number of magic item slots. In 5e, you have 3 bound items, that's it, plus unbound stuff. Whereas in Pathfinder, you have 12 slots.
We also haven't even got to power stones yet. There might be some power stones that might have some abilities that might help me with sticking. So
yes, chameleon is the power you're looking for. I think it's flat. Is it +10?
Fun thing. Chameleon is actually an adaptation on the astral suit that I can't quite get yet, but Trailblazer has just given me half of it, where my suit changes to blend in with the environment, and I gain half. Where is it? Half my class level to stealth checks as long as I'm in the suit. And I have
what kind of bonus to stealth checks?
Adds half his class level to stealth checks.
Does it say what kind of bonus?
Nope, it just says I have to have my psionic focus active.
So it stacks, basically.
Yeah, if it's an unnamed or untyped bonus or whatever it might be, then that would stack with other things. To be clear, if you use the first level power called Chameleon, which costs 1 power point and lasts for 10 minutes per level. It gives you a +10 enhancement bonus in stealth, so that's an enhancement bonus. And then for every 2 additional power points you spend, the stealth bonus increases by 1.
That's really good. So it's an enhancement, right? I'm just checking what the chameleon augment is. Chameleon is circumstance bonus. +4 circumstance. So those would stack.
Perfect. There you go. And that's why I was asking what kind of bonus it is. Cool. All right. Let's keep going. We'll keep going. We all miss Neil, and we don't want him to be gone. So every time he gets up from his chair, and I notice it. No, you're fine. About stuff. Every time he gets up from his chair, I throw a picture of him up on the screen just because we miss him. Yeah.
Yeah. I just figured for in-game reasons, Galen wants to be more stealthy now because he felt like he was the thing standing out in the Barren Lands, being Crystal Boy.
So you want to blend in instead?
Yes.
There you go. Perfect. He's like, I want to be an opaque crystal. So, I was thinking about opacity. I want to be a translucent crystal. Sorry.
I mean, that's what I can now do. I can make my crystals blend in with the environment now. So.
Yeah. All right. Hi, Jake. I've been sitting there patiently waiting for the opportunity to speak.
So I did like I'm so happy Neil's back, sees that and immediately leaves.
Well, he's rude. As you said earlier, he's very British. So,
Pink Butterfly just said, I'm so happy Neil is back. So I left to come back again to give Pink Butterfly that joy ×2.
He's like, I'll be back like before. I will fight the fight and win. I know the lyrics that you'll be back. So anyways, you guys are in the middle of the conversation. What was the last thing discussed? Because we keep getting sidetracked. What was the last thing that was actively discussed? Where
I think it was just the resources.
Resources, that's right. Yep. And Jake, you were saying, I think we should bring. Oh, that's right. You should mention the inks and the papers and whatnot. Would be easily be able to get your hands on. Cool. Any other questions you guys have at the moment? Anything else you want to bring up to her? Before I get to the next portion.
I don't think I have anything.
Cool. You know what's funny? We're usually like just going live right now, because like I went live at 7, but like we actually like did the transition of screen like right now. All right. She says that we're gonna have to discuss a matter of the transportation from here to there, because it is a considerable amount of traveling time that you're going to have to endure going all the way in that direction. I'm not sure how comfortable each of you are in traveling through the region. Part of being able to be discreet in your endeavors, well, you can choose to travel through Paradel. Excuse me, could be on. You could choose to travel through Paradel. I mean, being in McGlynn now, my suggestion in that scenario would be to take a boat to a different river to the west of here on the border between Dween and Sahora, and then travel up to the capital and across the lands there. But the other opportunity for you is to take a boat along the coast all the way to southern Yovance and actually travel through Yovance itself up and into Yovincia. This will give you an opportunity to see Yovance while not being our nation, and so outside of the purview of what your responsibilities are. Knowing the people who potentially sent the assassins is could be helpful for you. Also, I'm not sure about you, but I always do enjoy a good holiday, and I must say the services you can get in Yovance are thorough.
I've never left Peridel before.
She actually screws up her face a little bit at that one and says, "Didn't you just speak of the horrors of a deer?"
Well, yes, but it's not really a place, is it? It's a... You know what I mean? You go into a different country, a deer doesn't come to your mind. It's if you'll excuse
Delac.
the term, shithole.
She's comfortable with that description.
And
Fair
actually,
enough.
the land that I travelled in a deer is part of Peridel now. Though actually, I might not know that.
Oh, you may, soldiers talk. Especially since you have friends that are stationed in that direction. If you have to,
exactly.
talk to the friend network. Anyways, so she would say, "Yeah, that's true. The deer is finally being converted over into being Peridel. Piece by piece, it will finally come to know law and order."
Going through Yvonne's, I think, brings many opportunities, especially to learn. However, going through Yvonne's also will require gold, I assume.
She nods. Of course. If you're going through your Vance, you're going to have some degree of... It's not like everybody's going to ask who you are, but you're going to need appropriate travel papers through their nation, as well as the means to be able to rent rooms here and there on the trek.
Whereabouts was it that I entered Yvonne's?
That you entered Yovance. So obviously you know where like Yovincia is. I'm sorry, you're staring at the map of... I'm going to pop a map inside Twitch chat real quick. This is the map of all of Aeroth.
So, I'm because I left from Yovincia into Yovance. Whereabouts would it have been where I would have gone?
Oh, I think you went into Tico. It's hard to read that name. It's so small.
It is really tiny. I need to
Tico Capro. Tico Capro. Which is like if you're looking at the lake in northern Yovance, like the very, very, very north of Yovance, it's actually just south of Renetslav. We're talking on the same river as Renetslav.
Okay. This map, trying to zoom in on this map is interesting. So, okay, you said just south of
Renetslav.
where from Renetslav? Sorry?
Yep.
Just south of Renetslav. Okay, so that's perfect.
Yeah.
Then I would add, I actually have some experience in the area of your Vance just south of Renetslav. So that could come in handy for...
And that's certainly going to be your operational area for your upcoming task, but that doesn't necessarily cover the travel.
No, I was merely adding it as a detail in case it was unknown.
No, not an issue. The reason why I'm even bringing this up to, instead of dictating which way you go, is because if you go by way of Yovance, it is going to be more dangerous. That's a simple fact. But you'll get there significantly quicker. I assume you want to get there quicker for the sake of having as accurate of information as possible. However, that being said, and it'll also give you more time to search before the coronation takes place. That being said, it has already been a considerable amount of time since the assassination took place. So it's not really like there's going to be much more decomposition of information between now and then.
Indeed. Well, I think either way is good. I'm probably leaning towards the Yovance way, but if the others have other opinions, I'm perfectly fine with either.
Trish would just shrug and look at the BT.
I also would like to take the path through Yvonne's.
It's opportunistic of you, gentlemen. You see an opportunity to take a vacation on the with the coffers of
Galen will suppress a laugh.
the coffers of the military. I see that you're going to take this opportunity. It's wise. Again, it is a good bit more dangerous, so do be careful. Keep close to your chest who it is that you are while traveling through Yovance. Because Yovance is no ally to Paradel. We have been actively at war with them for a considerable amount of time, and that war has been evolving over time, changing things. While the major battlefronts right now may happen to be in northern Yovance, and certainly in the area that has become Yovincia, but that doesn't mean that Sahora and Bard don't do their part in the battle as well. So even when you're in the southern parts, expect there to be a pretty strong opinion of everybody against Paradel. And with this war again going on for well over a decade now, it is also important to note that you'll have a whole generation of people raised with opinions of Paradel. So their opinions, of course, are wrong. If you're not very familiar with their societal practices, Paradel is doing them some incredible good. She turns to Viggo and says, "Are you familiar with their societal practices?"
Am I? I read anything about that?
Roll a history check.
Yep.
Yeah, sure, buddy.
Oh my god! I looked at them and went, "Oof!"
I mean, it's
looked
a
at what he
19.
actually rolled.
Technically, it's 19.
You want to modify that at all?
God damn it!
You guys want me to modify it?
V-Sword, is this one of those fun opportunities where you're just running out the trash real quick, but you like,
Up to you, man. It's fine.
but you
anyway.
like don't really expect to bump into any neighbors or anything, so you're like not fully appropriately attired for going outside, and then there's somebody in your yard, and you're like,
You didn't see anything.
like I hate that. Like if I'm like just wearing shorts, like I'm not wearing like a shirt or anything. I just got like shorts and I'm running outside real quick, and I'm just like, or if it's nighttime, totally just like in a bathrobe. It's just like it's the what's it called, Bigfoot, like the. It's like the old lady neighbor walks by with the dog. Good evening, and you're like, step behind your car.
I'm not gonna look at it.
You're not gonna look at it, you said?
No.
Okay. You know that Yovance is known for its controversy because of its slave practices. They see it as otherwise. You know what I mean? They see that these, within their own societal structures, they believe there are ways to elevate oneself from slavery, and so that you could enjoy also the fruits of what society has to offer. But in practice, it is, you know, the top 1% of the top 1%. No, so. Oh, sorry, that was an American joke against 3 non-Americans. Sorry.
Yeah, I think we got that one still.
I don't know how much you know about Bernie.
You want to hear another American joke?
Ooh.
Healthcare.
Ooh.
Ow.
So, I mean, I would say to her then, here, slavery is a big thing over there. Many wayward parent soldiers found themselves in shackles in the events.
I'm sorry, I'm just recoiling from from
That's another
that.
thing where, if you're keen enough, you'll notice Galen reacts to that a little bit.
So I heard the slavery bit, but I didn't hear the tail end of that, Jake. I'm sorry.
I think I just said something about parents' soldiers ending up, sometimes being, I guess. I can't remember.
Yep, you're fine. Sorry, Neil broke my brain for a moment there. I'm also very tired. Good. So you mentioned the slavery or whatever, and she nods and says, "We offer freedom to their masses and masses and masses of slaves. It's incredible how many people they can pack into one city. Anytime you step forward and you take a bit of land, you crack that egg, if you will. You see all the local yoke come rushing into Paradel, begging for the opportunity to join our ranks. Renetslav itself used to be a city of Yovance. I'm sure you'll notice it. That actually brings up one of the points I wanted to get to. Seeing as that Renetslav is a former city of Yovance, it is possible that it has a tunnel network beneath its beneath the ground. It is not uncommon that's in slaver cities that they have tunnel networks for them to try to hide or break away from, whether they be old sewer systems or tunnels for them to have their resistance and whatnot. And many of these sections may have been collapsed by the various overlords over the years. But it's possible that they utilize these tunnels in their assassination, their entrance, their escape, etc., etc. I would look into this. And while you're traveling through Yovance, you can have a look-see. Maybe you can get yourself familiar with what kind of tunnels would exist, the structure of these tunnels and how they would exist, so you're a bit more prepared when you get to Renetslav.
What is the parent representation in Yovance?
You mean the demographic breakdown? That's a really good question. I honestly don't have that information on hand. That's something that would probably be relatively accessible to someone in Jovincia, but I wouldn't know.
We're all parent, right?
If
all of our characters.
Yeah, well, except for Pinky over here, but yeah, he's Pinky Perrin.
Yeah. Excuse me?
You
don't want to say that.
Traverse. What was the town that's just below Renetslav in?
Tiki Capro.
Tiki Capro. With us traveling through Yovance, specifically if we come close to Tiki Capro, there is a very minor but non-zero chance I may pick up one of our fellow soldiers. It's in terms of their whereabouts. When I assume, given your knowledge, that I ran a mission into Yovance, did you know part of what that mission was for?
Many details of your past are highly classified. I have some details about yourself and the original crew you ran around with, and it took quite the hassle to get my hands on what I did. So please, enlighten.
We shared
Viggo
a
raises an eyebrow at
connection.
you, by the way.
Yep. We shared a connection. Synchronicity. And I feel like I may, if I get close to where Delilah, one of the soldiers, is being kept, I may be able to figure out where she is. she was taken as a slave on that mission. If she's still alive.
Something like this, I'm not going to be able to give you authority to act independently on. The reason being, you have a very specific task, and that is it takes precedence. Now, I'll be clear. The task that you have is it takes priority. Is of the utmost priority, is the number one task that you need to do. After your task is said and done, should you choose to travel south and back through that way and take an opportunity then, well, that would be on your time. But we can't have you showcasing your presence, no matter how discreet you might think you are, before securing this upcoming coronation and producing the details about the assassination for the sake of our own River King's, defense.
Understood.
She definitely kind of like had to work her way through that one because she was a little like, she was tentative because she didn't know how it is to more or less tell a soldier, nah, leave him to rot. Sorry, your friend's going to stay there and suffer. So she was a little careful with how she described what she wanted to do.
And I think Galen would understand and appreciate that. Because, I mean, he had to leave her once before, so he understands that if the mission is as important as this, the mission takes priority.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anybody else? Anything else? Cool.
I don't think so.
Your accounts that you had at the commissary seem to have been redlined.
I did read a report once we got back. It seems that we were allowed to overdraw. I'll manage the budget and let everyone know. He looks to Tristan when there is no money in the account.
Galen flips over. It's like, I thought we had 475 still in there. This is the last time he checked, there was that much in there. He wouldn't say it, obviously, but he's like, what happened?
Redlining
I
is
will
not
take responsibility for this, as it is my responsibility to make sure that my team are aware of everything.
Redlining is not the end of the world. It's you redline, you redline. Important thing to note is that if and when you do, it does accrue a negative interest, and that negative interest does, or accrues what you owe accrues an interest, and that interest rate increases each time that you do that. So I would be mindful of how often you pull that off. Also, should you ever unfortunately find yourself, lack of better phrasing, dead during one of your tasks, the amount that you would have earned in life and in death will also be used to pay off that debt prior to whatever amount that is owed is sent to your loved ones, whoever your beneficiaries are. So I would also be mindful of that. Last thing you'd want to do is have a deep enough red line that accrues enough interest while account amounts are settled. Some 4, 5, 6 months that you are in the negative, growing at an extreme interest rate, all the while your money is on hold, and then it's a measly few silver that finds its way to your loved one's hands after your death. That would be unfortunate, wouldn't it? Well, for those of you that have loved ones who would be beneficiaries.
Looks to Tristan again because he's probably the only one that does.
I think perhaps this was my fault. However, as I'm sure you can appreciate, the upkeep for a soldier and for cavalry is different. Kerok is in some way a whole extra soldier, and so comes with expenses of his own. Too, particularly for the mission we've just had, to have skimped on such expenses would have been to plan for failure, which I believe the River King would not approve of.
I am inclined to agree with you. And she puts her thumb at the base, partway through, a good way through the report that was sent in by Viggo, and lets her thumb kind of run along it. So there's the papers that down on her desk, and says, "And I did read in this report how important it was that Karok had the finest of horseshoes for the tasks that it had." Remember, you stayed on a boat the entire time.
Yeah, that wasn't the plan. No, that was out of game stuff affecting in-game stuff.
Well, I mean, I suppose you'll have to weigh up the cost of finest horseshoes versus the cost of a boat, Lieutenant Commander.
He's getting cheeky.
Yeah, first time ever too, which is funny. To hire her up. She will nod and say, "Just be mindful of your assets." To which I mention, there has been a new release of funds into your commissary for you, and I will see to it that you have an amount of coin to appropriately adorn yourself in the correct clothing while traveling Yovance, as well as to travel through Yovance. As well as, of course, since you're not going to be riding on a Peridot military ship to get to Yovance, the passage you'll need to do from there. So we will have an amount of coin allotted to you to pull all of this off. Any other questions in this matter? Or is this meeting finally coming to a close?
Thank you for your advice, Elsie. He would salute.
Yep. Other two?
No, I believe we have majority of what we need.
Indeed. And Galen will also stand up and salute.
Okay. And you guys will be able to leave the her home. She'll walk you to the out of the office, out the front door, and give you the old boot on the cobblestone. I don't know if you guys want to have a bit of an aside before you go find your way back to the military academy, whatever that's here. A little chat amongst yourselves.
Yeah, Tris would turn to Viggo as we were alone. Sorry, BT. Didn't mean to embarrass you. Honest mistake.
He looks shocked and says, "You didn't. You didn't embarrass me."
Galen would give him a bit of a slap on the back.
Though Viggo turns to Galen and he says, "Galen,
Yes.
you heard everything about the secrecy of our mission, correct?"
Indeed.
I say this as a friend. I believe you were sworn to secrecy about your other deeds, correct? The one that you referred to in there.
Went to Yovance on a secret mission.
The mission. Okay, so.
And you left people behind.
That mission. Oh, I'll wait till I think Jake, because it requires roleplay with Jake.
Yeah, nah, yeah, it's just a dingo, mate. Nah, just throw a huntsman at it. Yeah, of course, gods, kids.
What he does say is,
that mission was just, as far as we knew at the time, for Climë soldiers. We were informed after the fact that we had been seen to have abilities that might pertain to my skill set. And yes, he turns to Tristan. We did. We did, however, manage to retrieve the entire slave manifesto for the entire region.
That was well done. The only thing that I'm worried about is, especially in the current climate that we're in, if she didn't know about the mission, telling her may have, you don't want to be perceived as somebody who may speak if you were to be assigned to somebody else.
That was why I made sure that she knew that I'd been on the mission beforehand. It's why I asked. That's why I brought up that I had been into the area before, and then when she acknowledged that she knew about that mission, she at least knew that that's what it was about. And it unfortunately was necessary when it came to how I would possibly know where this one individual would be.
I trust the LC. She seems like a good person.
I understand your
that's
and thank you.
That is not the point I was making. If I was under the assumption out of character, I thought she knew that you had been places, but she didn't know about that.
Yeah, she knew you had a mission in Yevance. She didn't know the specifics.
Yes.
As I understood what she said.
And if this was before you were sworn to secrecy, it kind of defeats what I'm saying. Yeah. See,
yes. This was this mission was before any of us knew about these abilities. It was just we had shown promise. Someone thought it might have been these abilities, and so they put us together to see what happened. And we definitely showed some, as I said, synchronicities. We came to the same conclusions very quickly. We acted in unison. It was hard to describe. Part of what these abilities do, especially when we're with others with these abilities. Like I said, none of us knew at the time, and we were only informed about these abilities. Well, I was informed, and our commander was informed when we got back.
I see. My apologies, Galen. I
thought
I heard
needed.
something. I was just saying it's wise.
Yeah. Yes.
Wise to be on guard around everyone.
You're right.
Our future on the military in our advancements probably depend on it.
You're right, and I definitely. It is one of my few sore spots. It's a shame and horrible that I had to leave someone behind, but I did, and it was going to be something that came to my mind at some stage on this mission, so I thought bring it up now, get it out of the way.
Well, we are traveling through events, and as long as we don't deviate from our path, gathering information is gathering information.
Indeed, and as she said, if we happen to go back through the other way.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, though. Once again, I do appreciate it. I do tend to miss those sorts of ways of thinking sometimes. And he'll turn to Tristan. And like I said, it was not an easy decision to make, but the mission took priority, unfortunately.
Tris will raise a hand and then ruffle your hair. That's not what I was saying. They knew the risks, and they'd have done the same to you.
I'd hope so. And you can tell he actually genuinely means that.
Well, this is going to be quite a journey. I also have never been outside of Paradel. I wonder what Yevance has.
There's so much to show you, he says jokingly. Like, no, it'll be good.
Why don't we go check in with the quartermaster, see what kind of funds we're looking at?
I think that's a great idea.
Was it me?
What?
She was quite clear. The horseshoes.
Oh, yes, but that's because I didn't, like I said, I didn't convey the appropriate cost of making the potions for us and other stuff. I'll be more careful in managing our finances.
Do you know how much we redlined, Neil? Because I couldn't remember. We checked out during one of the sessions.
No idea.
yes, the deal for now, soon Paradel, but how much did you spend from?
No idea. He just said, "Oh,
Oh,
yeah, just put it on."
God damn it! I just
He
realized
said-
what Scott said.
He said,
Yeah.
"Just put it on the tab."
But you
God damn it,
didn't
Scott.
mark down how much it was though.
No.
That's frustrating. Okay. We'll have to go
Because
back.
as far as Tris knew, it was paid for.
Yeah. But we also knew because you got yourself the armor and whatnot at the time, right?
Yeah. But he also did the horseshoes before the cost of the potions. So it was all like.
You didn't get new armor, did you?
No, I just had an adjustment to the armor.
Yeah.
It was the horseshoes
The potions
that
was
went
the
over.
second last thing, and then the horseshoes was the last thing.
How much were the
That was
horseshoes?
because you didn't know that Jake had spent it all the remaining amount.
What did we do special about the horseshoes?
Nothing. They were
good.
just new, good quality. There was nothing particularly special about them.
I just wonder how much we actually redlined. Like, was it like
It
it was like
literally-
15 gold or like 120 gold? Like,
I mean,
thing
no,
is,
it's
I
not going to
actually
be.
think
It's not going to be a
specifically
lot of
didn't
gold,
ask.
because horseshoes are not going to be that expensive.
no, but it was
Like,
also
they're a small amount of metal. There's skill involved in making it, but actually, it's one of the first things the blacksmith makes.
but it's it was also like the potions, and everything else is why there was such a huge expenditure or whatever. So
the potions didn't. go
Only
into
the
red
horseshoes went over. That
Only
was
the
the only
horseshoes
thing because I
redlined,
used
yeah.
I used all of our funds almost.
The
to
reason why we went red line
zero.
is
Yeah.
because Tristan didn't know that the money was the remainder was spent on potions.
sure. So because we don't know, slap on probably way too big of an interest or whatever on there, right? We'll just say it's 10 gold. Nothing crazy. Okay, cool. It was what went red line, including the interest or whatever. So you guys go back to the actual academy, whatever it is, and you go and you check out like swing by the commissary to see what it is that you would have there. Mind you, she has not sent you over any coin yet, for the sake of the actual travel and being able to go through your Vance and blah 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 that we just talked about. So that being said, you guys are gonna swing by the commissary and check the account, and it's one of those things where, I mean, if it wasn't Viggo looking at it, it would be kind of a shock to the other two. But this isn't unusual for Viggo to look down and see for a balance. The 9,990 coin that is inside the account waiting for the three of you.
Sorry, what was that?
How much?
9,990.
Jesus.
Oh my god!
So they
I
gave us
think you're looking at it as
10,000.
we're rather well funded on this
Okay,
endeavor.
that's
I dare say we need it. We
Indeed.
have a total of whatever Scott just said.
Oh, to be clear, you're not getting paid. This isn't pay for going to Jovincia.
Yeah.
This is pay
No.
for the Barren Lands.
Yeah, this is our.
Well, so
we have to spend it
9,900
like at the quartermaster. We don't take that gold.
Yeah.
Correct. But still, this was your reward for your last task.
okay. So 9,900 and what?
90.
90.
More or less, you got 10K minus 10.
Yeah. Well, I was just making sure because I'm actually gonna put it in and keep track of it. So
Yeah. Oh, do you guys need a handout for that?
I
Might
mean,
be a
I've just
good
got it
idea.
in my notes.
And
But
then-
see, actually, it's a good point.
Because then Tesh can keep track of it if he's happy to, but then we can all see it if needs be.
Okay,
Now-
I'm definitely gonna have a look for a stealth item then. I might even. I wonder if I can see if I can find something that helps with stealth and also helps to hide the crystal if I need to be active in it in an area that we prefer not to stand out.
Kim?
I'll have a look.
You're good, Mike. You good? All right. So, good amount of work there. Cool. It's also it's important to note that it's of course you guys that split 3 ways, right? So it wasn't like each of you got the 10K. Like it was the combined amount.
Oh yes, yeah, no, it's combined.
Tethys got a medal though. He didn't get any money. He just got a medal. Good work, Teth.
This isn't part of a special program. So
That's right.
Tethys is going to be retiring when he's 80.
We're
a typical
young,
American.
What's
'Cause of
the
health
ages of our
insurance.
characters?
I'm sorry.
So what is the ages? I'm just trying to work out. Like, we're a young group, right?
Yeah, you guys like a typical anime.
I'm a little bit older for Inclame.
He's the old guy in the
27.
anime, so he's like 22.
When do parents start to really differ from humans? Like, we can still pass as human, right?
Over 30.
I can't pass this.
I'm getting
sorry.
close.
Oh,
I'm
you
getting...
can't. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the individual because different people mature at different rates, right? But it's usually 30 years old is where you start to see that divergence. Is it where I should say where it becomes apparent to non-parent. Mm-hmm. Becomes apparent to non-parent. Oh, hello, wife. Excuse me.
Yeah. So you guys got to think. What you want to buy? Buy some stuff.
Yes. I think I'm going to look at an
high.
item, just something to help with stealth, because that's an area that I very much want to be a lot better in. Oh, wait, how much is that? There is something that... I forgot that if I get something that enhances my dexterity, that also helps my stealth and everything else. So...
Are you looking at
that's very expensive.
like a +2 to dex? Are you looking at something like that? It's 4K.
That's very expensive. Not as
very
expensive as I was
close to it.
expecting.
We each get approximately 3,000, right?
3,333 ish.
Yes.
I think maybe I'll go for a set of full plate.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even think of armor.
That was Brittany brought me breakfast because she's amazing, and we were talking about laundry, and so when it comes to laundry, like I actually like separate out the colors or whatever it is, and she never does. She just kind of like throws them all together, and so I was like, oh, in case like if it's not done yet, I'll take care of it after the stream's over, but otherwise if it's done, if you want to switch it over, because I just threw in the white load, and she goes, you're so good at the white load, and I was like. She's like, oh my god.
Oh no.
So I was just dying, and she was like ran off. It was so funny. Oh. Sorry.
Disgusting.
We're discussing laundry. Anyways, I did not listen to anything you guys were saying as I was talking to Brittany. Anything important?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so.
Yes.
All right, cool. So obviously at this point in time, you guys you're going to be handed an amount of coin that you're going to use specifically for the travel or whatever else you want to use it for, right? But what is the plan for the coin that you have here now, or what you have available to you now? If there was anything you needed to get your hands on, et cetera, et cetera. Like a fork that could turn invisible?
Oh my god. What do you call it? What do you call it? What's his name? What's the name of that item?
The invisible fork? Neil, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You mean not like the fork of invisible forking?
No.
So, that'd be a better name.
So while Neil's rambling, the two of you look rather diligent at the moment. What are you guys looking into?
I've already decided, Scott.
Items.
I don't think you understand.
Okay. What's up?
Interesting.
I'm gonna look at getting some potions to add to my extract list.
Hmm?
I'm just looking at options for armor or items, whether I want to go for something for stealth or otherwise. There's lots of options.
Sure.
What is my current?
Jake, for you, so more or less you're looking to buy potions that you can have broken down?
Yep.
Okay. What are you looking to buy? BB.
That's gonna take some time, but I mean, off the top of my head, Cat's Grace.
Sure. 300 gold pieces, I believe.
Yep. I also want to use the facilities here to break it down so I don't lose the potion.
Oh, of course. No, I get that, but I think also the potions cost you what is it, 10% off, right?
Yeah, yeah.
To buy it through the commissary, so it's not actually 300, it's 270.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Any other potions you guys want him to try to get his hands on because you can't use them?
No, my lord.
Because realistically, whatever potions he buys, he shouldn't keep on his person. He should give to you guys. Because he can make extracts for himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can also
Oh,
make
okay.
potions once they're on my extract list.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I still have the Endure Elements Pass Without Trace and Protection from Chaos if you want to
Yeah, I have them as well.
take any of those to make into extracts. Like,
The only one I can do is Endure Elements, which I will. I already have one of my own as well, so I'll just
Okay,
use
cool.
that. Let me quickly open up my extract list.
So, given the amount of gold that we have available to us, or credit, as you might want to call it, could I mean, because of how full plate works, I'd need to commission it anyway to be built. Could I commission a masterwork version?
Absolutely.
I think that's the primary spend for my gold then. Because
Something like that, though, you're not really going to be able to get a discount on because of how expensive it is. You know what I mean?
Sure,
and it requires like a lot of.
I mean, it'll be
time.
what 1,650 gold.
It also wouldn't be ready for you until you got back home because it had to be built from scratch. What's up? Oh, you did have more. Oh, that'd be wonderful. But remember, I'm leaving at 9:30. Okay. Oh, you're going. Oh, you're making. Okay, cool. Oh, cool. Thank you. Love you. Sorry. PDA is gross.
Okay.
PDA is gross.
What, Scott? What items do you know that help with stealth or dexterity stuff, other than like the obvious?
Cat's Grace increases dexterity, right? Stealth.
Okay. No, not potion wise. I meant item wise. Not the belt of dexterity because that's slightly too much at the moment. I'll save that one for another time.
Honestly, one of my favorite things to do, anything that applies silence. The spell silence makes you deaf, sure, but it also means there is zero escaping of sound. I love things that apply silence, especially since silence can usually be attached to an object. So if you imagine you put silence on an arrow, then shoot somebody with it, then even if you don't kill them in that first shot, if you do, there's no noise of them hitting the ground. If you don't, as they scream in pain, nobody hears them. You know, like, I'm a huge fan of silence.
Yeah, that. Just realized how terrifying it would be. Just like having a conversation, all of a sudden, just stops talking.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of items do
couple
that?
of potions as well.
Silence, the easiest way to get your hands on it is scrolls. Do any of you guys have the skill use magic device?
I think mine's a different use magic device because I think it specifically says psionic on it. No, it doesn't. Wait, hang on. Oh, wait. I don't have use magic device, but I could swear I had a psionic version for the psionic items. Except it's not here. Never mind. I may have misread something.
Well, there used to be a use psionic device. I don't think that got transferred over into Pathfinder. Psycraft is spellcraft, but for psionics.
Oh, okay.
And there used to be a use psionic device, but I think they just melded that in with regular use magic device and just said that most people can't use it. So to
I guess
use
I
the
need-
scroll is DC 20 plus cast level. Silence is a second level spell, so usually it's a DC 23.
I literally wouldn't be able to use that. So
Jake is the smart one, but it's a charisma based skill if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it is. I have a list of potions that I can go through, and you can tell me if I can find access to them or not.
Oh yeah, Jake's using magic devices. He's got a pretty good roll on using magic device. He could succeed that check. Jake, what's your use magic device?
You're lying, obviously.
Mhm.
That's all you need to know.
Mhm.
This head is obviously lying.
What's up?
All right, so I'm gonna name some potions. You tell me if I have access to it or not.
Okay.
All right, these are level 1. First, vocal alteration. Is a sorcerer 1.
I'm not super familiar with it, but I assume he just makes you more or less sound like somebody else.
Yep, that's exactly right.
I imagine yes. That would be something that would be common in Bard.
Yep, disguise self.
Another potion that would come out of Bard. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're both all right. All right, so now we're at level 2. Bark skin.
Can you get that as an alchemist?
I can, yeah, but there's what are you talking about? Bark skin? Can I get that as an alchemist? Yeah, I can.
Oh, okay. Because that's a druid spell, so.
Yep, druid, ranger, shaman, alchemist. I don't know.
Cool. Then I would say yes, but I'm just curious if that magic item we discussed you utilizing from the facilities works on. I was wondering if it works on non-wizard spells. I believe it does, because I don't think it specifically says wizard or sorcerer on the description. I'm just curious about that one because that is like adjacent to what my mind was suggesting it does, but that's fine. So bark skin again. There's nothing crazy about bark skin.
Yep, blur.
Maybe on blur. Ask somebody in chat to roll for you. I would say that there's a 60% chance that there's a blur.
All right, V sword. You wanna roll?
All right, V sword's
High
gonna
is
roll.
bad.
High is bad. Cool.
Yeah.
So be 60 or less.
I'll keep going for now. Bull strength.
Oh yeah, no problem with that one.
Invisibility.
Invisibility is the same idea. 60% chance that you'd be able to find it. Yeah, D100.
I
Yeah,
don't
V sword.
Yeah, I don't have chat up, so if whoever wants to roll.
Steve, you want to do it for invisibility? V sword got you the blur. Steve's gonna do invisibility.
Thank you. C invisibility.
See invisibility in the military structure. Invisibility was available. See invisibility you'd be able to have.
Yep. All right. Fox's cunning.
Yep, no problem. Same as the others. Oh wait, Fox's cunning is the intelligence one, right?
Yep.
Actually, that one is unlike the physical attribute ones. That one's actually a little bit harder to get your hands on because of concerns of people utilizing them for cheating. So you have to actually get authority for that one. It's like you have to get authorization for that one to make sure that it's not somebody using it to cheat in a academy training, like exams. So you have to actually roll diplomacy for that. More or less to request it.
Too obscure, so I'm not actually going to worry about them.
What are the other ones?
Things like what is that? Focus scrutiny. It's a bard, inquisitor, and alchemist thing.
Nobody but it is. What's the other one?
The other one is investigative mind.
You did that beforehand with what's his name? Krishka, I think.
I don't think so.
I have to look those two up if you want to send me a link for those. But in the meanwhile, roll me a diplomacy check for the getting your hands on the last spell you just said.
23.
You're clearly already passed exams. You're a proven intelligent person, so on and so forth. It's not like it's something that you would require to be able to cheat. So you have no problems. They give you the authority. You can get it.
No worries. All right. Well, that'll do me for now. I'll add all that up.
Yep.
Figure out what it
So because those are potions, you can add up the total cost of them at raw, take off 10%, so times 0.9 or whatever, and then
Yeah.
then you're good to go.
Did Steve's roll? Did that?
Yeah, it was
did that
good
or
as well.
not get it?
Mhm.
Okay. Good.
And so Neil was commissioning to have full plate armor made, but because it's full plate armor, it just has to be ready when you return.
So if I could get a masterwork set of full plate and a masterwork set of a masterwork heavy wooden shield, that's 1,807 in total.
Yep. And to be clear, the shield you could have right now.
Okay, cool. Brilliant. I'll grab. What I'll do then is
Your microphone changed.
it did because I went downstairs. I
just received Artie's dry food. She has special food for her teeths. They're like big cubes, and she loves them. They're her favorite food. And we ran out, and she'd been so upset at me. And I heard the door, so I went to, because I thought it was that, so I went and grabbed them and just fed her, because she was whining at me saying, I want lunch. Because she only has it, she has the dry food once a day and wet food morning and evening. And she loves the dry food so much. She's been so upset these past couple of days because we've had to use the backup dry food.
The opposite of most cats. Most cats are just like, screw the dry food, give me the wet food.
Oh yeah, no, she loves it. She really does.
Okay.
I prefer when pets are grazers because it's so much easier.
Yeah, she is. That's what she's like. She comes back to, she doesn't eat, she'll eat her fill at the time, but she won't eat all of it, and she'll come back to it throughout the day.
Yeah, when a pet can pull off being a grazer, they're not like pets that you have to like watch what they're eating and when they're eating it. It's so much easier for somebody who works, because if you're like,
exactly.
If you have to leave the house for like 14 hours, you don't want to be like, well, they died.
Usually that's meant to be like how cats eat anyway. They're meant to have lots of small little meals rather than.
Well, of course they would, because like if you think actually about what a cat would be capable of catching and eating, like maybe a rabbit, rarely, but mostly it'll be like smaller things.
Yeah, but usually cats also burning calories before they eat that because they have to hunt and kill it.
Exactly.
Instead of your fucking Garfield.
Artie is actually very good with how she eats, and her weight is healthy, and hopefully she'll stay that well into her old age. But it's something that we watch. We don't give her lots of treats.
All right, so my potion's gone to 1710.
Awesome. And Neil, I think, is spending 18 something.
1,807 in total.
Make sure you guys are marking that onto your paper.
Are you okay to minus that now, Tash?
Yes.
We should split it up into 3. And more or less.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Do it that way. Yeah.
That's a good way of doing it. Yeah.
So we each have 3,333.
Yeah, but there's that extra coin that goes to the commander.
Fair. I mean, Trace wouldn't argue.
So
you have 3,334. Most
of what Viggo spends is actually on us.
Well, technically speaking, it wouldn't be 3,334 because there was
the minus 10. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually just 3,330. Yeah.
The commissary thing isn't opening.
So just 3,333. Is that opening for you? Refresh.
Yeah, it opens for me. Just give me a shout if you need me to do it, Tash.
If you could do it this time while I'm trying to sort this out.
Sure.
I have 1620 of my share of that. Scott, you go, Tash.
I was just going to ask Scott if he knew off the top of his head any magic items around that price that would be useful for me.
Around what price?
I'm trying to look now. Around the 3,000 or under.
Specifically for stealth?
Well, maybe not just for stealth, but for either, for my character or stealth.
Sorry to interrupt. How much did you have,
I'm
Jake?
still looking.
1 second. Because clearly there's a cloak of the elven kind, but you're looking for something a little bit different.
1620 left.
1620, thank you.
Are you keeping a note now?
I'm just putting it in the commissary now. And I've got, how much was it? 3. What was it you said, Scott?
3330.
3330. Thank you. Minus 1807. I'll pay all up front, so I have 1523 left. 1523, and we'll wait for Tesh to do his bits, and then we'll fill that.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I could do is just try and commission the only light armor that would actually help me above what I have now, other than like much more expensive things that I don't think you can buy. You have to find is the spider silk bodysuit, which I'd have to get masterworked. Would that be? I mean, that's a backup option if I can't find anything else. I think Scott has an idea.
No, I'm reading.
Items. Because I've been trying to go through the only one that is within the price range, I think, was that Cloak of Elvenkind, which is good, but expensive for what it does.
I mean, that's actually pretty cheap.
Okay, it's very good for what it does, but what I mean is it's expensive for what I would. I'm either going to wait and invest a lot more into stealth, or I'm going to invest into other areas now.
He comes back, he's like, all right, I'm saving up my money, and then like Neil spent the entire account, and he's like, no.
Because, yeah, my stealth isn't shabby. It's just he wants more. But also, there's other areas I can probably improve better with this amount of money. This is where I'm learning all of the different items in Pathfinder.
Now we should look at getting, which will come in very handy, especially with me being an alchemist, is if we could all manage to get those swift action potion belts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
Because in combat, that can be a lifesaver.
Annoyingly, I know that a lot of Pathfinder's items with regards to ranged combat are very specifically not thrown weapons. Like, they're always like, oh, that sounds like it might work. No, never mind. Only bow or only crossbow.
I'm finding like some cool roguish stuff, but not specifically stealth.
Well, that could still be interesting.
There's another, again, fun item to wear. So roguish things I was looking at, just so you guys know what I'm talking about. Well, this isn't quite roguish. This one's called Bracers of the Falcons Aim. And more or less it allows you to cast Aspect of the Falcon once a day for a minute.
Yeah.
Which is nifty, but that's meh. So the other thing was Burglar's Buckler. It's a little bit outside of your price range, but Burglar's Buckler is a +1 buckler, but can also like turn into tools that you need on hand for things like hammers, crowbars, saws, grappling hooks, artisans' tools, thieves' tools. They can turn into those things. But it also gives you a bonus on things like Disable Device and Sleight of Hand and bonuses on trying to do things like dirty tricks. So the Burglar's Buckler is a cool one. But then there's also Cloak of the Hedge Wizard, if you've never heard of that one.
I've never heard of that one.
So this cloak comes in 8 varieties, one for each school of magic. The cloak grants its wearer the ability to use a certain number of spells on command, cast level 1, based off the school of magic. It also grants the ability to use prestidigitation at will. So you would choose, say, illusion, and you would have prestidigitation and ghost sound at will, but once a day could each cast color spray and silent image. And the cool thing about color spray in Pathfinder, not the 5e trash version, is color spray can, even doesn't matter how powerful of a creature you are, you fail that one saving throw and you're dropped. You know what I mean? So, which is pretty cool. And then ghost sound combined with silent image. Those kind of things can be used to not stealth in the traditional sense of you can't see me, but yeah, throw attention. Exactly. So that's just some outside of the box way of going about it, and it's not crazy expensive. It's only 2,500 gold pieces to get your hands on that. Being so overtly magical, I would say again something like this would come out of Bard, but it also would not be a discounted item if we had that full 2,500 price.
Oh yeah.
I would also say that it's one of those things where the reason why they're even accessible, just for the sake of in-game purposes, for those that like story, would be you can imagine this is one of the things that the Arcane Congress and Bard would use to try to lure new students to their magical schools. Like, look what you could learn to do if you didn't have this item. Look what you could learn to do on your own, and so much more. I assume you looked up Cloak of the Hedge Wizard and you're looking at all the different versions of it too? Because, like, Transmutation is a pretty awesome one.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, what I would say, though, is if you did an alternative version of that, if you look at Transmutation, but changed Enlarge to Reduce, and then it's exactly what you're looking for.
That is actually really good.
Right? Because it would give you Prestidigitation and Mage Hand at will. Both of those can come off as stealthy at times. Expeditious Retreat or Expeditious Retreat, however you want to say it, that is certainly useful. And then Reduce Person versus Enlarge Person. Again, when you're smaller, you get a +4 to stealth on top of the enhanced dexterity for being made smaller. So again, super useful.
That works. That would work well for me because I already have later on the ability to get the benefits of Enlarge Person in terms of damage without the negatives of Enlarge Person. So that would actually...
You both enlarge and reduce at the same time?
Oh my god, I didn't think of that. But yeah. Technically, yeah. Oh.
And enchantment obviously allows for Presti and Daze as well as Charm and Sleep, but that doesn't feel like your characters. Though I do like the idea of Charm Person. If anybody here knows who Regis, the halfling, is from like the Drist series, Regis has the a ruby that he like holds it and spins it, and it charms and suggestions people. It's pretty freaking cool. Like the idea of you being his ruby.
True Strike. Because I remember True Strike in 5e is terrible.
Scott.
No.
How does ordering a masterwork weapon work? Is that something they may have on hand, or
Masterwork will be on hand? Yep.
Cool. Can I?
It's just a quality crafted weapon. It doesn't have to be crafted specifically for you. And
yeah, I totally agree with the armor. It makes sense. The fact that you can even buy a full plate set of armor in a lot of D&D settings, just like, oh yeah, I'll just buy it, is crazy.
Yeah. No, it just takes a couple months to have made for you or whatever, which will be fine because you're going to be gone for a while. So yes, you'll be able to buy that for on hand. And Fnatic, it's we're talking about one is the spell version, which would be Reduce Person, and then the other is the Sonic Power, which would be the benefits of Enlarged Person without the negatives. As to whether or not they stack, I have no clue right now. I have not looked into it. It was just mentioned very briefly.
It's more likely because the way that the psionic one works is it treats my weapon's damage as if it was a size larger. So it would more likely be it would offset the small the reduced size thing, which is still very useful.
It's not that much of a change, anyways.
Yeah, but it means that like Enlarged Person doesn't have as much of a benefit for me because I can get that damage bonus anyway later. So having the reduced one works better for me anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, like, reducing your damage from a D8 to a D6. Ooh, you know,
it's not much.
All right, cool. So it sounds like you like the idea of the Cloak of Transmutation.
I think I do.
Reduced instead of enlarge.
Having the Mage Hand, Reduced Person, and Expeditious Retreat sounds fantastic, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty poggers or PogChamp or whatever you cringe Zoomers say.
So yeah, I'll grab it. That's 2,500.
2,500. Yes, sir. Nope.
Okay, cool.
2,500.
All right, my last question, because I've nearly spent all mine. Can I look at getting one of the Swift Action Potion belts?
Yeah, how much did I say those are? 100?
I don't know.
The ones that get allow you to have
one
three potions on
Yeah,
your shoulder.
3.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
100 gold.
Okay, I'll take that. All right, for that price, that's fine. Can I look at a preserving flask as well? I'll link it to you if you don't know what it is.
Go right ahead, send it to me, just in case. Makes you think of the old Book of Vile Darkness spell called Preserve Organs. There was an orison from the old days. Oh, you sent it here. Okay. Preserving flask. Oh, that's where you chose to open the link over there. Okay, weird. So clearly going with one of the weaker ones.
Yeah. Best levels. More or less, I can prepare something, put it in there. That
Yeah, I
that
see.
day it
So-
takes a slot, yeah, but then it doesn't.
Yeah, so more or less, if you prepare it today, it uses up your extract slot today, but then tomorrow and so on, it just is in there like it's a potion, without you having to make a potion. That's pretty freaking badass. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, my idea is like as we go through the campaign and I take that discovery that allows me to
Hold
make
up, Trento
things for
proposed a
them.
3rd level spell, Ash. How many 5th level clerics do you know? Sorry, go ahead.
No,
or
it's
sorry,
a good idea
second level
for
cleric,
them
third
to
level
get
wizard.
later on.
Yes.
When I get the thing that I can share my extract.
Yeah, honestly, like 3 3rd level ones of those for each of you, even if it's not always 3rd level potions inside there, like that's super badass. Because if they each, I mean, you're talking about investing, what's that, 2,700? Sorry, 27,000 each. But if you each got 3 preserving flasks, I mean, even if it's just a 1st level one, like you do Cure Light Wounds, it's not +1, it's plus your cast level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being able to up to 3rd level or even 2nd level, you know what I mean? Like that's incredible, right?
Mhm.
So, either way,
All right.
Chinda proposed 2nd
Neon,
level for
you want me to-
cleric. I'm pretty sure it's 3rd level for wizard, and I think I'm seeing it through the scope of wizard in my head, because I more often played wizards than clerics because I like to have fun.
Oh, I'm done. That's me. I've got everything.
Oh, look at this. Cleric Oracle 2, Sorcerer Wizard 3, Joey. How does it suck to be wrong? Huh? How does it suck to be wrong, Joey?
How
That's what I
does
thought.
this suck to be wrong?
Yeah, look at that. Cleric, Oracle, Shaman, Witch, Domain Repose, and Mystery Time, all 2. But Sorcerer Wizard 3. Look at that. Don't question this memory. Don't question this old man's memory.
It's a pretty reasonable thing to do, though, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, definitely question my memory as often as you can.
Do I need to purchase any potions?
That's it. That's a hard question to answer because like Jake can make potions, but it's slow and expensive. Jake can't share his extracts with you. So if there are potions that you want, I would suggest buying them. Now, mind you, you have the belts that goes around your waist or a bandolier that goes across your chest that can hold, how many potions is it? 10 that you can draw as a free action, which is nice, but still a standard action to drink. That being said, if you pay 100 gold pieces, you can have the
Yeah, I did
arm
that.
one that can have
So I've got
3 that
both.
are swift action.
Oh, then I will definitely do that. I didn't realize that was only
can-
100.
It
Can
just
you
takes up
guys-
the arm slot, if you will.
Can you guys just update your commissary if need be? I know
I
Tesh has
have
done it. He just needs to minus 100 off.
Yep,
If
so
you
minus
go
100
on
for
that.
Tesh.
We'll do that
Will
real
you do
quick.
it as well? Jakey Wakey.
So I'm gonna sleep so much in Maine. You got hi. Speaking of sleep, hey, how you doing?
And then I may grab some potions as well. I'm just trying to put
I
all the
really
stuff.
thought that was his.
You're awfully
I-
like at it early today.
Yeah, I really
Yeah,
thought
did
that
you
was
sleep
great.
well?
He's like, speaking of sleep, great.
Yeah.
Filthy old man.
Well, I totally dropped that melatonin.
Having
Oh, yeah.
expeditious retreat
Yeah,
once a
absolutely,
day
I
is going to be
did.
nice.
I took him out.
once.
I think we fell asleep around the same time, so yeah. So.
I don't think he minds me. I don't think he means to mute himself at this time.
Night. Good night. I just said good night. Goodbye.
Yeah, he usually doesn't.
It's gonna be a long day.
Okay, so how much are potions? Potions, Pathfinder. Healing potions is what I'm looking for because I just want to have some of those on hand for quick.
Right, well, I spent a decent amount, and when eventually I do get that full plate, that's going to help a lot.
It is, yeah. Scott, how much healing potions?
Depends on the cost. It depends on the level of the healing potion. Level 1 is 50, but again, you have 10% off of these, right? So level 1 is 50, yeah. Level 2 is 300, level 3 is 600? No, 750. But again, 10% off those.
You know, what I might do is I might grab 2 level 1s and a level 2, just so I have one of those level 2s on hand for emergencies.
Sure. I
mean,
mean,
we should do probably in the next one is all chip in for a bag of holding. We can get one.
That is a good.
I honestly, just being 100% honest with you guys, if you can get and it's not easy. It's not. I'm not saying it's automatic. You're gonna have to make a roll for it. If you can get your hands on a wand of Cure Light Wounds, despite the fact that you're going to waste charges because none of you are good at use magic device, if you have a wand of Cure Light Wounds, it cost-wise it ends up being worth it. Because think about it. The rules is written. A 50 charge wand costs 750 gold. A single potion costs 50 gold. So, 750, how many is that? It's a 15 charges worth is the cost. So even if you screwed up 35 charges of the wand, you still at least made out the same way as you would the potion. So if you occasionally screw up with the wand, it's like, shit. Think it's great for out of combat healing. It is great for out of combat healing.
Do you have a decent use magic device?
Jake does not. It would actually. Tesh is the charisma guy, I think.
No, I have 0 for use magic device.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that is a trained only skill.
I've got +1, but I'm not trained.
So you know what would be funny is if Tristan, if you guys bought one, and then Tristan just starts playing with it, and then we more or less roll a d6 or whatever, how many charges he wastes.
Telling me to have my character play with his wand on Twitch.tv.
And
Don't matter how many charges he uses.
And then eventually you put a rank into it so he could actually start trading in the skill. What's up,
50,
sir?
50, 300. So that's 400, and that's 10% off. Right?
Yeah, so 40 off.
Yeah, so 360.
Yeah.
I gotta remember.
It's a circle. It's a circle.
If we get a lot of time off at points, it's good for me to make potions like I did with the Cure Light Wounds.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I have
single
them
ones
on
are
hand.
just yeah.
Well, this short downtime is because our mission is actually time dependent, right? Because as a coronation, they want us to be
correct
to achieve, but not many of our missions are going to be massively time dependent. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're able to take a good few weeks downtime in between.
Correct. Well, I would say not necessarily a few weeks, but yes, there would definitely be downtime, typically speaking, between them. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my goal is just to fill up the quick belt, just so I have health potions that are swift actions for emergencies. And then that's all I wanted to make sure it was filled.
There are other potions that are even better than just healing potions in scenarios like that too, but heal is definitely a good sit on. Tesh. Another option for you that you might enjoy is False Life. I think False Life is 2nd level, but usually it's really worth it. Usually. False Life is actually better going into a fight than it is coming out, but let me just double check.
Yeah, it's temporary health, isn't it?
It's temp HP for an hour, I think it is. So False Life, it's second level, unfortunately. It's an hour per level, but it's 1d10 plus cast level instead of 1d10 plus cast level is not that much better than 1d8 when one's true healing. So False Life is really good as again like an extract. That's a really good extract. If it was first level, it would totally be worth it, but a second level is really not.
It would actually make more sense for it to be first level, right? Because the trade-off is you're getting 1d10, but the trade-off is it's not permanent.
The trade-off is that it goes above your maximum.
True.
Yeah. And also, I don't think it caps quite the same. Plus 10, so it does cap the same. It's a necromancy spell, too, so anything that applies to necromancy spells would apply to that, which is nice. What's up, sir?
I think I'm good. I think I have the stuff that I want now set up.
Cool. So you got new new robes. So a new cloak. This transmutation cloak. Would you like to describe it? Do you want to appoint somebody in chat to describe it, or do you want to kind of leave it open? And to mind you, as for the colors of the cloak, description aside, the colors technically have to follow AC coloration, which I never think I ever wrote down the colors for AC coloration. That might be another fun thing for me to work on while I'm on vacation, just kind of sitting there.
You should do that.
That'd
be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually works out really well, because now if I have an AC colored sort of cloak and they see under the cloak a crystal person, they'll just think magic.
So the layman doesn't actually like if it has full blown AC insignia on the back of it. Okay, sure,
That's different.
But so the coloration of AC, and this is one of the things I described to you forever ago. You guys are the first ones to hear the description, and Kingmaker is if you're not trained in if you don't understand AC, you don't know what the colors mean. Like it's pretty overt. Like okay, they're wearing dark grays or blacks or whatever. Okay, that's necromancy as a primary. But the way that the second color is laced in, is not necessarily obvious, because I don't know if you remember, but I'm a little obnoxious. Every school has a primary color and a secondary color. So let's say, for instance, if black is a color of necromancy, if you're a primary necromancy focus, it might be silver that is their secondary color. So if it's black, so you might be wearing say red robes with a silver lace. That means your primary evocation with a secondary of necromancy.
I hope
know what I mean?
Ready for the eventual academy campaign.
The
rules. Aurorum academics or no academy? Yeah, academics. Academia. Oh, it's too long. Academia. It's 5 instead of 3.
Yeah.
So break the mold.
Yeah, it's the AC if they do what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
But I like it. I
know. Yes.
It's good. We can all put on some fantastic gnome voices. Oh God.
Oh God.
I'll do my best Sid impression.
I was gonna say, oh God, how did I do Sid? How did I do Sid?
No.
Oh,
God,
Sid. Sid is here.
I just have to get a pay.
Oh, no, I know what it is.
I want my BP.
Scott, the other question I have about this cloak is what level, caster level do these count as? 1. Okay, cool.
It even says it in the cloak. It even says it in the description there for you.
Oh, my bad.
Pay attention, Tesh.
Sorry.
All right, now we're done with all the boring stuff.
Shall we get into more boring stuff? How much money do you guys have left over?
Loads.
Quite a bit.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
If you wanna know, look it up in the commissary tab.
I like that
no,
Gallon and Viggo's money perfectly fit together as 1,000 gold left.
Wow, somebody's cuddling up with the commander. I'm just saying we could buy it together. It's like thank you.
Yeah, he's a perfect fit.
Oh, Trish, you saved a lot of money. You still got 1,200 left.
I spent the most money.
Well, I feel bad after I forced us into debt last time. well, because I was like, Trish realistically wouldn't know to look for a magical item. However, what he would know would be to upgrade his weapons and armor to the finest mundane quality.
Point.
I think what might be a nice thing for Triss, something to kind of like look into for you. Um, uh, Obviously we talked before about like a magical saddle. You don't have no, it's Nick that has that. So things like saddle, like there's like saddles that make it so it's not just like a typical military one, but ones that make it so it's more difficult for you to be dislodged from it, so on and so forth. But honestly, I like the idea of Triss having like a really nice helmet. Because like he's definitely a character you like. Because I've always pictured Rena as wearing a helmet, and Rena's like, "Bruh, gonna fuck up this hair." And
Really?
I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh my god, no. Yeah, of course Triss wears a helmet.
Like I see. To me, I always saw Rena as wearing a helmet, but she just recently corrected me as like she never saw Rena with a helmet in her mind's eye, and I was like, "Oh, but you wear like plate," and she's "That's nice."
Imagine as well like a skirmish in a deer. You've got to charge into a bunch of undead. You knock a bunch of them down. One guy gets unhorsed, and these undead are just scraping on his plate armor, and they can't get through. The one guy who gets knocked off and doesn't have a helmet on, by the time the cavalry have turned around, his head is no longer on. You know,
had their nose and lips and whatnot already ripped off.
It's like that's not the least realistic thing in D&D. Let's be honest.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Well, we here don't do bikini mail. Like, to be clear, we don't do like bikini mail is not a thing in my world.
Yeah, I respect a character's or a player's desire to have helmet on or off. That's fine, and I wouldn't penalize them via AC. Yeah, if I was a DM, the only thing I would penalize them with is if they took like a bad downing or a bad hit, they're much more likely to get scars or lose an eye or something, because it gives them character.
So I would look for you, Neil, look up some magic helmets. Like, I'm not saying to grab one right now, but it might be a fun thing to look up for like next time you have an opportunity to buy from the commissary to like, because at that point, if you have more coin in there, you could potentially like get yourself. And then if there's also, you also have to understand too, like, so what Tesh kind of pointed to. So all the areas that are strong in Climë, which means there's a lot of people that kind of get pulled in. When I describe things as coming from Bard, one of the reasons why I describe them as coming from Bard is because you kind of want the people in Climë to be enticed to want to move elsewhere. Like those more central provinces are always looking for people that wants to move to them so they can keep their population rising, right? So that things like coming out of Bard to come here makes sense to lure people in. But something like a helm that wouldn't necessarily be in a commissary that you can easily get your hands on, you could be like, well, I know of this thing. Can you look for it for me? And much like how the armor is going to take a couple months, to be like, yeah, we can get it for you, but it's going to take time to get transported here. Yeah. And then by the time it gets delivered here, you get a letter in the mail saying, oh, I got delivered there. And you're like, I just got relocated. No. And that's where you hate your DM.
Can we like
the hat of loud
out,
Steve, go ahead.
Can we like see about what are they what are they called again? You know, the thing you put stuff in and you just keep putting stuff in it. What's it called?
Bag of holding?
Yeah. Would we have to order something like that?
Yeah, bags of holdings. So things like that are extra dimensional, those are very volatile. They're very dangerous to have around. So they wouldn't just necessarily keep those around. Now, funny enough that I say this, the commissary probably has like 2 of them in there that they use, like medium size or whatever bags of holding that they use. But you don't just like any soldier that saves enough coin to rub together, they're going to sell that too. So a bag of holding wouldn't just be instantly there. Heward's Henry Haversack is more likely. But you'd still have to ask for it to arrive. So if you would like to order one, it'd probably be here by the time you get back. Diplomacy check to get your hands on it. And he retained a haversack I have to look up the price of.
In the wrong hands, bag of holdings or weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah. He would handy haversacks, I think 2K.
Is it just a flat 2K? That's cheap. And it holds 80 pounds and 220, so 100 and so it always weighs 5 pounds and it weighs it can hold 120 pounds, just broken up, right? Yeah, like that's a lot of weight. So I think it even holds Celsius in it.
I'm gonna be right back real quick.
8 cubic feet or 80 pounds. I think we can put Cell in there.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna roll diplomacy, see if we can organize one of them or something when we get back.
But yeah. So it's a 20. This is obviously it's a powerful magic item. You really want it. It's just something that you'd want to luck.
Yeah, I mean, if we have luck, I will, just for the fact that when we get back, we get paid again. So. 21.
Custom, please.
They're gonna go looking for it. It's one of those things where it's they're gonna go looking for it, but they're gonna expect to pay up front for it. Like he obviously had to pay up front because he was having armor commissions. For you, if they're gonna go searching for this thing for you, they expect pay up front. If they're able to find it, they will keep the assets. If they're not able to find it, they're going to return the assets to your account.
All right. Well, if they want pay up front for it, I'll just try again next time when we come back.
You guys have the money to pay for it up front, just so you're aware.
Yeah, but that's dipping into everybody's money.
That's it. Well, yeah. It's not for one person, right? It's for everybody.
Yeah, but they'd probably want to do things with their money.
They're all done with their spending. Again, it's up to you. Like I'm just saying, I wouldn't just immediately shut down the opportunity.
All right. Well,
between the three of you guys have
what
about
do you guys
2,500 gold. So obviously, Tesh will have to ask as soon as he pops back. I think he's grabbing a coffee or whatever. Neil, he's talking to you.
Triss would not complain if the commanding officer spent their commissary towards a good means.
Yeah, it's group means, or later on, if he keeps it just for himself, he could just give you back at the next pay.
And this is not
Alan's
pay.
fine.
To be clear, this is not pay.
That's true. This is all stuff for your
I would ask all the same, like in game.
like you're not buying a house with this. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're not, yeah.
It's
This is
not
all
like
specifically stuff for your tasks.
this is not going to be. And should we all die, if they reclaim these items, it will all be liquidated and given back to the families.
Gallon's fine
All
with it
right,
too.
so, all right, then, all right, we'll have to take the appropriate funds out then.
So then if you're going straight from the commissary, which makes sense, Viggo and Gallon get zeroed out and you pull 1,000 from Triss. I would suggest don't remove it from the commissary. Put next to it minus the amount that you're removing for what it is that you're putting it for. That way you can kind of keep track, or right beneath wherever it is you have it written, just to keep track of what you have there. And then hopefully when you come back, the bag is sitting there and waiting for you. So with your 21 diplomacy check to have them go looking for it.
How much is it costing total?
2,000 in total.
Okay.
So it's kind of like you and Jake get zeroed out, and Neil has 1,000 taken off of him. But I mean, I don't know if you heard, Tesh. It's for Hewards. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So I've done that as a way to. That's what we'll be at if it turns out that we do get that thing.
Cool. That thing where like I must have like brushed my teeth too aggressively or something. Where like the skin at the roof of your mouth right behind your teeth is like all beat up, and I'm like, it's so frustrating. Like I must have just brushed too aggressively recently, like before bed last night. So, because I remember I popped the melatonin, brushed my teeth, and then tried to crash. Fell asleep listening to it's like Astrium, I think is the name of the YouTube channel. There's so many YouTube channels that I watch the channels, but I don't subscribe, despite the number of times that they're like, subscribe to this. You click that button. So
And Scott's like, no.
I know what I fell asleep to. It was a Norwegian woman talking about the 11 things you never do in Norway. So I was like, oh, this is funny. I want to click on this thing. And I put it on, and I like put my phone down and was listening to it, and I passed out. And apparently one of the things you do is you don't look people in the eyes for too long. Look in the eyes out of respect, but not for too long. And I'm sitting there like, I make a lot of strong eye contact.
Yeah.
Like I was taught young, strong eye contact, firm handshake. you, sir and ma'am.
Shall we continue on our journey? I think we've still got our spending done.
This is like, I'm bored of your asides, old man.
I'm worried more about chat than me.
Well, unfortunately, I have work in an hour and 12 minutes, and I have to get ready for and leave for. So we are, start an hour early and 2 hours early for multiple weeks. If you look at the schedule that I posted, multiple weeks in a row, unfortunately, which is good for you, Tesh. It means you get to have a slightly better sleep schedule. I know.
Tesh just laughed. It's just like, sleep schedule.
I was awake at 1:30 a.m. yesterday for the New World beta to get on with everyone, and I played that till like 6 a.m.
You are the New World beta. Yeah, just asserted my dominance here.
Yeah,
I just did.
You called him a beta.
You're welcome.
Okay, then that makes sense that we got all this sorted before the end of it. Then that's good.
Correct. Yeah. And I would actually suggest that when you guys know that you're going to be coming in from finishing up a mission, starting to like so obviously next week we're not playing. I'm going to be on vacation. The week after that, you're going to be on your mission. But so probably for 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out, having a little bit of research done of ideas of things that you want to start working towards. Save yourselves time for while we're here.
Equally, just let us know when we level up.
Excuse me, I let you know. Why didn't you watch all 4 streams? Tesh and Jake, how did you guys not tell your friend?
We just went to 4th level, right? Okay. So I need to do an ability score improvement.
VSword, if you check the schedule on Discord under the announcements, I'm pretty sure I have 0 streams next week. I'm pretty sure next week is the one where I have. Oh, no, I wrote that with my wife over my shoulder, so yeah.
2 weeks time, we will be entering. We'll be going on our quest.
Right.
I'm missing Monday next week and in 3 weeks, I think, because I'll be in Maine a second time, but for a different trip. So actually, fun fact. I'm not driving up to Maine on Saturday. Like usually Brittany works on Saturday, and so I have to wait till she gets home from work, and then I'll keep the car. I'll pack it while she takes my car. I'll pack the car, whatever, and then we leave Saturday afternoon, which is like miserable. Instead, since Brittany's not going to work, she's like, we can just like leave so much earlier. Maybe bring Rory to karate in the morning, then go right afterwards. I was like, actually, my stream ends at about 1 o'clock on Friday night. What do you say we be in the car by 3? And she's like, you're already doing an obnoxiously long Wednesday. Are you going to be okay for Friday? And I was like, no, let's make it happen.
Oh, God.
But I really want to drive up there, and Old Orchard Beach is like where I grew up going to as a kid in Maine. I really want to go up there and get to the beach before sunrise and watch the sun come up with the girls. You know what I mean? And you could have the dog on the beach prior to, I think it's 9 a.m. So we'll go up there, we'll watch like the sunrise, so on and so forth. I'm trying to get a hold of my dad to see if I should invite my grandpa to breakfast that day too, because he lives in Oob. So, I mean,
this is all on the day where you literally have had no sleep.
Watch the sunrise, go out to breakfast with grandpa. Absolutely.
So
Grandpa's a holy man. He could just say a prayer or something. I'll be fine.
It'd be like you and your grandfather, like, what did you say? What did you say? What did you say? What did you say? Just that back and forth.
No, he just talks about like Jesus and how he like enhances your quality of life and stuff like that. And I just kind of nod, as you're supposed to do. Like, yeah.
Look, Scott, do what Jesus would do, which is get enough sleep.
I mean, he was hanging around for a few days, so he had nothing to do. He caught some Z's. Yeah, I've seen the pic. Like, he's living a shit life. You know what I'm saying?
He just made a crucifixion joke. Wow. Well, I think this stream has come to its crux. So,
sorry, I guess crux is it.
Yep, I think we're done.
To be clear, although Scott is memeing, he thoroughly respects everyone's ability to be whatever religion they want.
Yeah, it's true. It's actually my grandfather's the only living person that doesn't know that I never told that I'm an atheist too. because I have incredibly deep respect
upset
for. Yeah, well, he's just, and the worst part is like he would just be like, well, God finds his way into everybody's hearts, and a different way, so on and so forth. So even if you don't believe God to be in your heart, He is there guiding you because you've turned out to be blah
God's
blah blah.
that black hole.
Yeah. But he's like such a kind, humble person, and he's like preached the word for like fucking forever. But his wife, my grandmother, never knew, and she passed away a few years ago. So it was actually pretty cool. So like the beach that I'm going to, at the day of the funeral for grandma, as soon as the funeral ceremonies ended, like because the Salvation Army does things a little bit different than other churches. They celebrate life. They don't like mourn death. They just celebrate the life. So immediately after the funeral, which had lots of singing and lots of like happy stories and whatnot there, immediately after it ended, we all went to the beach because, that's what you do. You go to the beach and you enjoy God's gift, just nature,
Nice.
and so on and so forth.
Send me some pictures.
Yeah. Oh, I'll send you nudies. I'm gonna bring my camera. I'll lay out for you. I'll cover up with sands just enough that it doesn't like break any TOS. And onlyfans.com/Nagy. By nudies of me,
Tesh.
go to Neil's OnlyFans.
Oh god.
I'll take the lead here, Scott. Don't worry about it. Tesh, you want to do your outro?
Hi, I'm Tesh of the Test Tube. You can find me under that name on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Follow me on Twitter for info on stuff like this, for D&D and stuff that isn't on my Twitch, and follow my Twitch for Warframe, Destiny, Fallout 76, and now the New World closed beta, which actually is a lot of fun. I'm going to be streaming likely some of the PvP events. They're sort of scheduled so that they it gives like the different groups time to organize for them. So I will likely stream those.
I was gonna say, so with the Warframe game, have you been able to suck anybody else into it with you? Because it was multi, so.
I have a friend here that I play with on the regular. I've tried to get Wade and Pat into Warframe.
Warframe sounds like a Pat game, not like a Wade game. Yeah,
they seem to enjoy it, but they just didn't stick to it.
Wait, is Pat the one that made me download Warframe?
I don't know. That would be hilarious if that's the case. But Warframe's getting a huge update later this year that I'm so excited for. They released a 30-minute gameplay reveal of the new war, and every second of it, like, there's something new that I was just like, holy shit. So I'm very excited for that.
I thought I double-clicked Steam, but Steam's not opening. I don't want to keep double-clicking it because then it's going to be like,
just give us some time, dude. Boomer.
I gave it time. Jake.
Yeah, well, as you're on holiday next week, so am I. I'll see you guys the week after that. So I will, I want to give a shout out to Vance and Steve, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was the last episode of the Arothian podcast. With them guys. Chat. So I've really enjoyed listening to that. It's been great.
So you're announcing it now?
To them too.
No, still not doing it. Okay.
Dude, you just spoiled it.
You were the worst.
He is trying to get something that's not happening.
Sure.
I know.
No problem.
He's just the worst.
He just said that is the last episode of the podcast with them boys. I mean,
dude, stop.
Stop.
I'll wait. I'll wait.
I do not have the time.
Oh, wait. No,
Next time that you tell me about a campaign, I'm just taking straight to the Discord. I'm gonna spoiler it all.
Sure. Okay. Well, you announce when you're ready, Jake. Well, I'll be waiting with bated breath.
You'll get an announcement one day. One day, I'll have something announceable.
And Neil, anything you care to say?
Hey guys, you can't find me anywhere else. That's right, I'm a hot exotic commodity. This is the only place you can see my face on the internet, unless you go through past streams. But do that. Do that as well, though. And I will hopefully be here more going forward now, because hours have changed. There might be a week where I'm not. We'll see. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Here's
No
the
more being
place.
left at the boat for you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these guys need me. You see what I just rolled? I just rolled a 15 and got a 29 to hit. What the?
Look at the damage.
What the fuck? Yeah, this guy's broken.
Yeah.
Well, check out Lost Initiative tonight. It should be a lot of fun. I'm excited to really start getting into the story. Beforehand was the setup of the campaign and kind of getting things started. And what are you talking about? Oh, so it's Lost Initiative Star Wars Shades of Grey.
Nice.
So
not how many shades?
Well, actually, I haven't determined yet.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're gonna sort of work up to it.
Yeah. We got to figure it out. So.
Don't tell me there's going to be more roll for hotness.
Gonna be like a
it's Shades of Grey because Varen is a Grey Jedi, or yeah.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah. So Varen is he walks the. I mean, Varen is just a scramble up of Revan. Just and he has
I got that
purple saber.
No. He's Baron. He's named after Baron Aquilarius, the Emperor.
Actually, if you're
from the Interregnum.
I think the second tier subscribers on that channel have new emotes of all the characters too.
Well,
so you actually have like a Varen emote and so it's pretty cool. But anyways, all right, cool. I have to go get ready for work. I have to leave in 29 minutes to get there on time today. So thank you all so much. Sorry we're doing the short sessions. It's how I'm fiddling with my vacation hours so I can still go to my brother's wedding. So
hey, it's better than no sessions.
Yeah, we're modeling it on Scott's height.
Yeah.
Thanks for. It was nice to see you again, chat.
Yeah, let's see if there's anybody to raid. Is there anybody to raid?
Maybe a nice Polish person.
You're never gonna let him lose.
No, he's never forgetting that.
I'm a globalist. I don't believe in country boundaries and stuff, and support all streamers.
Go to work, snug, and there'll be no after stream chat involving Scott.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could do one at 9:30. That's early. Bye.